are now in the arena. Welcome to Gridiron, presented by Underdog. Ooh. We have been dying laughing. You guys are going to have to check socials because we pranked all the boys this morning, and it was absolutely hilarious. So let me introduce my guys. We got one of the most prolific figures in the history of sports media and the man who's never lost a debate, Skip Bayless.
It's my turn.
Super Bowl champion, 5-time Pro Bowler, and 2-time All-Pro cornerback, Aqib, Talib.
Yes, sir. Almost died this morning. I had to hit my asthma pump after that shit. You know
Your coffee almost flew on my head.
Hey, it was hot too. It was hot.
Was it? Oh, it was a good prank, though.
Yeah.
And the king of quarterback breakdowns, top 5 passer in the history of the USC Trojans, Cody Kessler.
Yes,
Cody.
And man, I think I'm gonna have to consider you part of the cast now here on the Gridiron because
Football guy.
we've got a football guy. I'm like, basketball? Who? We got Cemetery Larry, the man you're currently top of Gil's Arena's playoff picks leaderboard. We got Dr. McCants.
Yeah. Oh. My guy is built like an outside linebacker. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
you have a football build.
For real.
Do I? I've been working on it.
Hey, we cannot compete with that fit.
You can, you know what I'm saying? I'm the most hated right now, so I got to give him different versions of me.
Okay.
So
What version is this, though?
This is just the pimpin' curly version. You know what I'm saying? Got to get here on time. You know what I'm saying?
You like to sit in your car before work and just chill because, you know, we watched the camera. We were pranking Rashad. We watched the camera for so long for this man to get out of your car.
Yes, I kind of felt something was going on. I said, let me wait until it's a good time to just go in. And then look what y'all just fucking around.
The whole crew were watching the
I'm going to
cameras.
get y'all back, though. Don't even worry.
Prank Wars is officially started.
It's officially started.
So who do you like better, us or, you know, the Gil's Arena boys?
I like who like me.
Oh.
I like who like
Then
me.
you
So
like
Gil's
us.
Arena.
I like everybody. I like who like me. Shit, I like who motherfuckers that give me good love. You know what I'm saying? It's love on both sides, though. I love everybody.
How are you feeling today, Skip?
I'm feeling really good. I'm feeling however that man is feeling. We're about to
we
find
feeling
out.
great then.
Yeah, okay.
You feeling like me? We feeling great.
I'm about to spill my coffee on him.
Oh. Payback, please.
Yeah.
Thank you, Skip. I'd appreciate that because. All right, let's get into it because we got a packed show. So Will Anderson got the bag from the Texans. So we're going to react to him being the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. Then Zay Flowers had a lot to say regarding the Ravens' practice that year with John Harbaugh. So there's a lot going on there. Then there's a ton of buzz about Skip's Cowboys and about them potentially trading up. A lot of buzz about this, so we'll see how you feel.
Yep.
And then, as always, this episode is presented by Underdog. Underdog's available in most states, including Texas, California, and Florida. New customers get $50 in bonus entries when they play just $5 to get started. Just use code GRID when you sign up, and it's going to load instantly. Underdog, make picks, win money with code GRID. So first things first, we got to really break the crazy news. Will Anderson. So Texans and him have decided that he's going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. It's a 3-year, $150 million extension, and this includes $134 million guaranteed. Okay, I want to look at right now who is. So we got Will Anderson at 50, Micah Parsons at 46.5, Aiden Hutchinson's 45. Then we have Jackson Smith and Jigba, T.J. Watt and Jamar Chase. And damn, the money's just gotten crazy these days.
Yeah, it did. Mm-hmm.
So Anderson he's had 30 sacks in the past 2 seasons. So that's tied for second most in the NFL. So Skip, what's your reaction to this?
So the first thing that struck me was we're going to do a topic in a few minutes featuring Brett Veach, the GM of the Kansas City Chiefs, saying there's going to be a whole bunch of trades in the draft because everything's so even. And the point that he made was there's only one quarterback at the top, and there's no Will Anderson and no Myles Garrett. And I'm thinking, wait, you put Will Anderson in the same sentence with Myles Garrett? Because I don't think that way yet. I haven't gotten there yet because he's had 30 sacks over 3 years, and last year he was first-team All-Pro, but it was Myles Garrett's year, right? Like he broke the record, 23 sacks to Will Anderson's 12 last year. And yet, then I step back and look at it today, and I say, that was a great move by the Texans because he's as legit as you can get without being flashy legit. So does he flash off my TV screen the way Micah does when he's flying around the edge? Is he Max Crosby? Is he Trey Hendrickson? To my eye on television, no. Does he ever grab you where you say, oh, did you see what Will Anderson just did there and there and there? But then I look at the total impact that he's had on that franchise, and they were barely second to you guys in points allowed. They're first in yards allowed. And every year they just get better and better and better on defense, and they've made the playoffs all 3 years that he has been there. Won the first round game, so they got to the divisional round 3 straight times with him as their defensive leader. So in the end, the money is just going up and up, and he actually got a better deal than Micah because his deal is just 3 years, and even though his guaranteed is $2 million short of Micah's, it's 134 to 136, Micah's is 4 years. So over 4 years, Micah's average annual is less now than Will Anderson's at 50. And just for the record, there are a bunch of quarterbacks who don't make as much now as Will Anderson, starting with Patrick Mahomes, who took a hometown discount in Kansas City to make, 45 a year. So Daniel Jones, Matt Stafford, obviously Cousins, they're down below Will Anderson. And yet, in the end, I think it's money well spent on a young player who's shown nothing but leadership and steady anchor impact for that defense. So I'm good. He just doesn't dazzle me. And I was a little surprised until I looked hard at it. And then you say, oh, I get it. And I don't have any problem with it.
I love it. I think he does dazzle me.
Mm-hmm. Does he on TV?
Hell yeah. When I watch him, I see he get all the attention. You know what I'm saying? That's why Daniel Hunter get to eat, because all the attention go to Will.
By the way, he got
the tight end.
$40 million.
Exactly. So I think if you the best player on the defense that got Sheldon Rankins, Daniel Hunter, Alshire, Stingley, you the best player on the best, one of the best defense. You know, we the best, but making my point.
You caught yourself
Texas,
there. You said the best.
If you the best player on the best defense in the league, according to yards, you know what I'm saying? I think you deserve it, man. He disruptive. He can't be blocked one-on-one. And then he young as shit. He young as shit, and he going to work already. So the players' piece of the pie is going up every year. So you're going to see the money go up every year. And it was his turn to get paid. He the top of the market. Boom, that's what you get, man. So I love it, man. He's setting that bar high. Set that bar high. Keep resetting that bar.
54, 12 sacks, 3 sacks in the last game against Patriots. Like you said, I think he dazzles when he's out there. I do see his energy. He's always around the plays. He's always trying to make the plays. He's always back there disrupting the quarterback. When you look at money and you look at age, you say Myles Garrett, right? Myles Garrett is in year 9. He's in year 3.
Yeah, he's 30 years old, Myles Garrett.
30 years old, year 3. Will is right there as an emerging talent. You look at all of the names that listed on that top 6, 4 of them are DNs or pass rushers, from Hitchison and all of those guys. I'm looking at him as being the next emerging Michael Parsons, the guy that you look at and you say he's young, he can go get it.
Yeah.
You know, he's going to be the focal point around the scouting report when you talk about we're about to face the Texans. We got to make sure he's not the guy that we need to be afraid of. And then you got Hunter too, like you said. That's the perfect dynamic of a duo that you're going to give up something for one of us. And I think the money, this is one thing, it's a motivating factor. You know, when you got good agents that can go in there and go get you good money. But I think being worth it is more than anything. Being worth the money and going out there and showing that your pride and your passion for the game is being shown and is being, compensated. And I think that he deserves it for sure.
Yeah, I agree. Very well deserved. I mean, if you look at the numbers, he's got 38 total sacks, including the playoffs, in his first 3 years. And I agree with you guys. I think he's just starting to scratch the surface on how good he can really be. But what makes Will Anderson so valuable and what makes him worth every single penny of this contract is that he can impact the game without having to make the play. And what I mean by that is you have to game plan and know where he is at every single play as an offense and as a quarterback. Yeah. That week, you're going to have some chips with the tight ends, with the running back so that you can get 2 guys on him. And now you lose a receiver in the route concept, which affects you offensively. Also, you're you're not going to be able to install as many down the field shots that week. You're going to be focused more on quick game. Let's get 1 step, 3 step, get the ball out of our hands because we don't want him to make an impact when he does get some of those one-on-one opportunities. And then as a quarterback, that internal clock in your head really speeds up. I can't go 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 to check down to run, throw away. This week I know with him and Hunter on this defense, I got to go 1 to 2 to take off, 1 to 2 to throw it away, because if you don't, he will absolutely dictate the outcome of your game. When you have a player that we call a red dot guy, meaning we get in the film room and you got that red laser pointer that the coach keeps putting on the same guy over and over and over because he's disrupting the game plan, in my opinion, he's a guy that fits that category, and he's worth every single penny of this contract.
I got a question as far as progression for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
When you talk about your progression, you snap the ball and you're thinking over your shoulder, how much time do I have with a guy like a Will Anderson on my ass, like literally trying to figure out where do I throw the ball when your progression is on his side? Or like how do you feel like that affects the quarterback position when you're facing somebody like that?
Yeah, well, so first of all, there's different progressions, right? There's half field reads, which are mirror routes where I have a post and an out and a post and an out. So it's pick a side, have full field progressions where you start right and then get back across 2, 3, 4. So and you have level concepts where you have high to low, all these different things. If I'm playing a Will Anderson that week, the full field progressions are out the door. Okay. I don't want to sit there and try to think 1, 2, 3 to 4.
Right.
I want half field reads to where I know it's 1, 2, check down, throw away. 1, 2, check down or take off and run. Maybe some level concepts, but also I'm telling my coach, hey, get me outside of the pocket. Let's roll the pocket. Let's try to pin him with the running back or a tight end, get 2 guys on him so I can get outside. But when it comes to timing of things with a guy like that, 2 seconds.
2 seconds.
Yeah, if that. I mean, you're 2 to 2.5 seconds. You want that ball gone because the longer you hold it, the more time he has to get to the quarterback. That's when sacks happen. That's when sack fumbles happen. That's when he can really impact the game. So I'm thinking 1 to 2 to run, throw away, and let's take him out of the game.
So is it 3-step drop more than it is 5?
Yeah. So that's why I said. So shotgun's 1 step, under center 3 step. When you get in the shotgun, or when you get under center, you're going to 5 to 7 step.
It's crazy.
We're not using a lot of those. If we go play action and we want to run some more down the field shot plays, I'm going 7 or 8 man protections with only a 2-man route. I'm not.
And they definitely gonna have that help on Will Anderson's side.
Yep.
Right.
Yep.
But for you, like, is it more beneficial for the defense too to have a Will Anderson for the DBs to come in and blitz on those type of progressions too?
It helps all 7 of us covering because now we could cover with 7. Now we could play 2-man and we could play regular cover 2. I could look at the quarterback because we don't got to blitz with a guy like Will Anderson. Right. He is the blitz.
Yeah,
you know
making him uncomfortable.
It's 4-man. When you got a Will, a Hunter, and a Sheldon Rankins in the middle, bro, we don't even got a blitz. That's the blitz right there. We could play any coverage we want. Whereas if we don't got those guys, now we got to blitz to create pressure. Now I got to play man. I don't got no damn help. I got help on the post. That's it. Like it make the life of a DB so much easier.
Okay, so what I meant by he doesn't dazzle me when I watch him on TV is if I can go back in time to Lawrence Taylor, is that before your time?
Yes, very.
Okay. Do you know Charles Haley back in your
sir.
Yeah, okay.
Dallas.
So those are guys, if I'm up in the press box, if I'm home watching on television, they fly off the screen because they play with hair on fire. You know, they play frenetic, frantic, electric sort of edge rush football where you're just saying, God, Trey Hendrickson does that to me.
Yeah. Hendrickson does it, but Will Anderson don't.
I would say Will Anderson's better than Trey Hendrickson.
To my eye.
Like a Frankenstein.
Okay, Will Anderson is an anchor. He's solid against the run and the pass, where he's doing everything, and he is commanding a double. So Daniil Hunter is eating $40 million worth a year. He's eating from the other side. But Will Anderson has not been box office for me. I don't turn on the TV thinking, I get to watch Will Anderson rush the passer today. Whereas with Max Crosby, I promise you, that's all I got. When I'm watching the Raiders, I can't wait to watch Max Crosby fly off the edge and bend. And I used to like Micah bending off the edge. He just doesn't get home enough for me. That was my problem.
Michael Parsons don't dazzle you neither, right?
No, he definitely dazzles you with his speed and quickness because it's the best.
So Michael Parsons is better
Nick
than Will
Bonito,
Anderson.
does Nick Bonito dazzle you?
He doesn't close. And remember, Will Anderson's not a huge sack guy. You can argue that he's getting triple teamed and he's commanding.
I mean, he is 30 in the regular season in the first 3 years and 8 in the playoffs in the first 3 years.
Okay.
38 sacks in your first 3 seasons as a young player.
I'll take the 8 to my bank. But during the year, 10 sacks a year is just, it's pretty average.
Normal. But it's not 10 sacks a year, Skip. It's 7 and then 11 and then 12.
Okay.
It's going in the right direction because he's a young player.
He's 24 years old.
But what I'm saying is, Myles Garrett, listen, when I turn on the Browns, I just see him. He just flies off the screen because he just destroys whoever's in front of him. He ragdolls.
That's because you've been seeing him for 9 years and we're talking about him for 9 years.
I got
you turn the tape on, he's a household name and you just ready to where Myles Garrett at.
Okay.
You got to understand.
It's going to be the same with Will Anderson.
Okay.
Next year he got 50 now. Next year you're going to turn the tape on. Let me see what Will doing.
Okay, do you think he'll ever have 24 sacks?
I get what he said. I get what Skip is saying. No. He does dazzle, but Skip is comparing him to the ultimate Hall of Famers that really jumped out. Like he's talking about the guys, like the guys he mentioned, Taylor. Like these are not. I'm not gonna say not Myles Garrett, not Crosby, but you looking at it from a standpoint of what to expect.
Okay.
He has an expectation for him.
It's why Troy Aikman says to this day, I don't have any of my 3 rings without Charles Haley, who they went and stole from the 49ers. If you saw the Netflix documentary, they went and stole him in '92, and it just immediately put them over the top because all of a sudden they had something nobody has. Where Charles Haley, trust me, he's doubled every play. I was there. I covered. I wrote books about it. He's doubled every play, and they can't stop him. He's still going to get to the quarterback because his bendability and he had incredible natural strength. And I'm not saying Will Anderson doesn't have these qualities, but they're more subtle great to me than these guys. Like, I don't see charisma in his game, but it's great. And I got no problem. They're paying him ahead of schedule. They're paying him, they're betting on the future because it's already there. The future is now. And it's a great move because you know and I know 2 years from now you'll still be looking at the money saying, God, that was worth every penny, right?
Right.
Even though it's $5 million a year more than Mahomes makes, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you say, is he worth it? Well, sure he is. He's even worth it on intangibles because he's a model citizen. He's the leader of the team. I think he's the leader of the team on both sides of the ball. I think I just get the sense watching him when he gets interviewed after the game. He is the spokesman for that team. Well, I take all that to my bank. I'm just talking about marketability. Do you see him? Do you remember things that he says? Is he a big social media presence and force? No.
But do that got something to do with him dazzling you when you watch him, though? I don't think
charisma of him is lower to me. But I get the money. It's just he's not box office to me. I don't say, gee, I get to watch Will Anderson today, and I do watch Max Crosby and think, yeah, I watch Micah Parsons sometimes for the wrong reasons for that because Micah has the most explosive quickness off the edge I've ever seen. He just doesn't close enough. He doesn't have bendability.
And he played for the Cowboys.
Yeah,
and all kind of stuff.
When you talk about Myles Garrett's the premier pass rusher on that team. Max Crosby's on a bad team, and they're the premier guy. The Texans have the #1 defense, and they have multiple weapons, and he's a big part of that.
But to my eye, Danielle Hunter looks like a little better pure pass rusher than Will Anderson does. To my eye.
He probably will if he got the
it's
him versus the tackle.
I understand.
It's him versus the tackle. He probably will look better. You know what I'm saying?
Does.
Opposed to you versus the tight end, the tackle, and the running back on your side.
Yeah,
like, it's going to look different.
You guys are talking red dot. I'm putting the red dot. I got 2 red dots because the other guy scares me as much as
you could argue they got 4. They got 4 of those. They got 5 of those.
That's why their defense is scary.
Stingley, they got
he was a good player before he got there.
Is Hutchinson? Is he? Hutchinson? Is Hutchinson?
Aiden Hutchinson.
Is he?
He dazzles you?
Is he dazzling?
He does.
Aiden Hutchinson
as dazzling as Charles Haley was, his highest sack number for a season is 12.5.
Okay.
That was very dazzling. And I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying Charles Haley is, Crosby is, Hutchinson is, Parsons is, and Will Anderson is right there with all them guys.
Agreed.
Yeah. And he's only 24.
And he's only 24, so it's like
you got to build them years, man.
He's hard-nosed.
Lieb ain't dazzled nobody for the first 2-3 years. I had to establish that shit And then once I said he got 4 picks, he got 5 picks. Then by year 3, year 4, they're like, let me see what he gonna do. And you know what I'm saying?
But I saw you in year 1 and 2. I'm saying that's that guy. That's that Kansas.
And you don't see that with Will Anderson? You're saying you don't see in the first 3 years of his career, you haven't seen, when you watch the tape, that's a guy right there.
Okay, remember, we are talking about by far now the highest paid non-quarterback in the history of this game.
Yes.
And on charisma factor, on bankability, like watchability, as far as entertainment factor, it's not really there for me with Will Anderson.
But they're not paying for charisma.
That's fine.
And they're not paying for the
I mean, they
kind of
is
for entertainment.
It's a little bit of it's coming with that.
Is he box office?
Their box office, a little bit of that money coming with that box office.
He would be if he wasn't with the Texans.
If he was with the Cowboys, he's going crazy.
That's what's really got you on the edge is because we don't talk about him enough.
The media don't talk about him.
The media don't give him praise. We don't get to even see him enough.
Yeah.
That's
you
just
talk
the
about
Texans.
watching, because if you actually watch the games and see him, like what we're talking about was he dazzles.
I think he
He
dazzles.
actually goes out there. He's a hard nose.
Okay.
He gets back there, and if you look at what you're talking about as far as the media markability and all of that stuff, it's really your market. What about your market? Because Myles Garrett is not really marketable. He's a big, tough guy, but he's not the guy. He had the Campbell soup commercial with his mom. I mean,
he don't say much.
He don't say, he don't do much. And then Hutchinson, you don't see him in a bunch of commercials and stuff like that.
He's charismatic though.
Max is a character. I think Max Crosby is a character.
He's the face of the Raiders.
And then Michael Parsons, he had his own podcast.
What about Nick? What about Nick though? Nick Bonito, does he dazzle?
Quiet, man.
I'll be too quiet for you.
And remember, I'm a big Oklahoma fan. Grew up there, and he's playing for
so I get what
3
you're
years.
saying. It ain't. It's so much about the play. It's about the whole package.
Yes,
I feel that.
And he's not. Will Anderson's not going to do anything on social. He's not going to post a prank video. You know, like he doesn't do that.
Right.
I don't know if he's on social. Is he? I never hear anything about him.
But he's going to go get you 3 sacks.
Yeah.
Okay. And he's going to read.
Hey, one of them going to be a strip sack.
He's going to go get you. He's going to get it done, but he's not going to, I think what you're saying is close the deal, which is on the back end.
Okay.
Close the deal.
I'm back to my original point. So Brett Veach says there are going to be a lot of trades because and he did this order, there's no Will Anderson or Myles Garrett at the top of this draft. And I'm like,
and that tells you what he thinks about him.
Yeah.
Really? And he went Will first over Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
And
he wasn't talking about the package. He's talking about just the player.
No, I got it.
What he can do.
And he's in the AFC too, and they've had to face him before in the playoffs.
Okay. So do I think David Bailey could be a Will Anderson? I do. I do.
Me too.
Okay. So it surprised me. Brett Veach is he's going number 1 is Will Anderson, number 2 is Myles Garrett. And by the way, Pro Football Focus ranked last year defensive players overall. Number 1 was Myles Garrett, number 2 was Will Anderson. So, okay.
I don't think Brett Veach necessarily meant that. I think he was just giving examples.
Okay, but he reached off the top of his head and he went Will Anderson, Myles Garrett.
Yeah.
Okay, and he's an inside guy.
Yeah.
You know, he's like.
Well, he's the youngest, most effective guy.
But
all these other guys are.
I think he was wrong
pushing
about
30.
that though. He's saying it ain't a Myles Garrett or
a Will Anderson.
A Will Anderson in his draft. I think he was wrong about that.
Okay, I agree.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think he was very wrong.
But that's a whole nother discussion. It's just interesting. He went first to a Will Anderson.
Right.
So he is one of the best GMs in football, and he went number 1 to Will Anderson before we knew anything about him getting this money. Okay.
And I love that the guys have personalities and the charisma and the podcast. That's all fine. I get the era that we're in right now. But I also love a guy that's all business all the time. I want a guy that's going to walk in the building, that's going to produce day in and day out. It's going to be a nightmare for quarterbacks and opposing offensive coordinators from Monday to Saturday because we're sitting in our office till 3 a.m. trying to figure out how we stop that guy from disrupting the game plan. That's why he's worth every single penny. I don't give a shit about the charisma and the entertainment and all that value. I want you to produce.
Yeah.
The GM want that money. Give me the guy with the charisma.
Yeah, but how?
And the
no,
game.
but okay.
I want the money.
But it doesn't matter if we don't win games. We've got to win. We've got to have a great defense to win games.
Ask Jerry, do it matter?
Oh, it do, yeah.
Ask Jerry, do it matter.
You got to put fans in the seats, right?
Yeah, but
you got to say, we're coming to see Will put the quarterback down tonight.
Exactly.
Win
he
or
does
lose.
that. But he does that.
But you
We
have
still booze.
But the marketability for that, to be able to have the fans come for that specific reason, is you got to sell them a little bit more. So for the Texans, you're selling CJ, right?
For the Raiders, you're selling Crosby.
You gotta
We might not
give
win,
more.
but come see the Crosby show.
Yeah, you
That
gotta
is a
give
fact.
more.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah.
And for
gotta have
Cleveland, you
that.
look at Cleveland and you're like,
Not anymore.
you only got Miles, and now you're trying to sell Shador, and that's a good selling point because you got two now. But you've been trying for years to try to bring somebody in that can complement Miles. But this is an opportunity to have CJ and Will and a couple other guys that you can actually market around.
I'd be a terrible owner then because I don't give a shit about any of that. I want wins and I want rings. I want guys that are going to help us win, and Will Anderson is that.
I'm just going to say this, not for your benefit, but you are sitting here, and I'm just going to say, when I used to turn your games on, I was anxious to watch you play football because I knew 2 or 3 times a game you were going to get your hands on the football. Somehow you're going to break it up or you're going to pick it off. It was just, you had charisma as a player. You had it factor as a corner where you disrupted the game.
Yeah.
You would change and impact every game. And I can't teach it. I can't coach it. I can't go buy it at the store. You either you have it or you don't have it. Okay, so that's my point.
Well, it's really
I
the
think
commentators saying the name too.
Yeah.
The more they say your name, I think that's what really got me accustomed to your game. Is you always heard his name.
It's a great
whether it was
name,
a
by the way.
yeah, it was a great name,
It
but it
is.
was whether it's a tackle, an interception, or it was hey, you got to be careful. Aqib is over there. This is what gives you the anticipation
does.
that this next play could be about this defender.
It has.
And that's my point. I think you got to build that up.
It's mystique.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
like,
And I think year one, even if you're a first round pick, it's like,
Yeah.
all right, you just new to the league. You make some plays, then year 2, you make some plays. If by year 3, you got 38 sacks, watch and you got the 50, watch
Oh,
year
yeah.
4, how many times you hear Will Anderson.
You're gonna
Yeah.
hear
Will
all
Anderson
the
Jr.
time.
Will Anderson
Yes.
Jr. Even when he ain't did shit. Will Anderson Jr. Whoop, put the camera on him.
He hasn't done nothing in a while.
I'm telling you, you just got to build it up. So I think that mystique that you're talking about it'll be here this season.
well, it just got 150 million
Yeah,
into it, right? And now the world is going to say, oh, maybe I should.
Yeah, now
check
we're
him
talking-
out.
yeah,
Oh, okay.
Exactly.
The jumps just get crazy though, because Micah Parsons gets 46.5, and then they immediately just straight to 50 for the next offer. It's
They need a lockout fund.
it's getting out of you couldn't offer 48.
All the young players, you have to put some cash in the lockout fund for the guys who locked out. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Yeah.
Get them all that paper.
Oh, there you go.
We got them all that paper.
Aqib, you were born too soon, right?
I'm telling you, 96. I wish I was a 96, baby.
I was a 96 baby.
Touche.
I was. All right, okay, let's move on because, Skip, you were probably the first one all season publicly that I heard that you wanted John Harbaugh to be gone. You thought that needed to happen in the Ravens,
I
right?
thought they wanted it, the team wanted him gone.
And that was shocking at first when you said that, because that was really early on in the season, and we were like, that's a crazy move. Now, Zay Flowers went on a podcast, and he is airing out some things about the practices ran by John Harbaugh, and we might be getting a little bit of answers. So let's listen to that.
Y'all was what, tackling damn near
In practice?
y'all was tackling in practice?
Bro, we full pads.
Oh
all the time.
I'm be real. I ain't with
How
that.
many-
The NFLPA on the line.
However many practice pads you can get,
Yeah.
Or you getting them?
He using
every
them.
single one.
100%.
Jesus.
Bro, we doing one-on-ones week 17.
What?
Yeah.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Right. While my ankle hurt.
Yeah.
Week 17,
hell?
we doing one-on-ones. Everybody out there, you tired. You
So
still going.
physically, your body, like, how you manage that though? You know what I'm saying? Like
Don't, like, that's why low-key, that's why we had a lot of, like, injuries.
injuries, yeah.
Because how we practiced, how we went.
So, by week 5 last season, the Ravens had 7 Pro Bowlers sidelined with injuries. Okay, so Zay is pretty much saying it's because of how John made them practice. That's what I heard. So, Aqib, do you think there's truth to a lot of this with Harbaugh and how hard they practice? And
I mean, yeah, I'm sure it is true. If Zay said that's how they practice, then that's how they practice. But I've seen it done both ways. You know what I'm saying? I've seen Sean McVay want his players to be super fresh. We probably put them pads on once a week, maybe once every 2 weeks. It's a lot of walkthroughs, high tempo. You know, keep guys fresh type practice. The vets don't even practice on Wednesdays. Keep you down today, Big Wit, you down today. I'm like, nah, Sean, I'm practicing today, Sean. No, you not. Nah, I'm practicing, bro. I need these looks.
Yeah.
I got to lobby to practice. You know what I'm saying? So that's what Sean was about, and his teams was very successful, right? Shit, I played for Bill, and Bill shit was like that. We full pads. We motherfucking doing week 17. We still doing one-on-ones. We still got 25, 28 periods. We fucking conditioned after practice. Like throughout the season. Am I lying?
No, you're not lying.
But we go to the side.
To the other field.
Go to the other field and we running
sprints.
We running sprints.
Yeah.
It's like week 13.
Yep.
You know, he said that the season don't even start till after November. We running sprints after practice like it's OTAs and shit.
Yeah, I remember that.
And was those teams successful?
Yeah.
Very successful. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. I seen it done both ways. I can go through all the head coaches that I had, and everybody do it different ways. So it's not just one way to stay healthy. It's not just one way to win the Super Bowl. It's these old school coaches going to do they old school, you know, be in their old school ways. The new school coaches, some of them going to coach old school, some of them going to do it the new school way. Some of the old school coaches going to do it the new school way and walk through and not go full. And, you know, it's just multiple ways to do the shit. You know what I'm saying? It's not one way to do the shit.
Yeah, and I think what you said right there at the very end is really important. We got to remember who we're talking about. This is John Harbaugh. He started coaching in 1984, so he's been through a lot of different eras of football, and you know, he's top 15 all time when it comes to wins as a head coach. He's got a Super Bowl. He's got a recipe that works and has helped him be successful. So he's going to practice and prepare the same way every single season. And I'm with you. When it comes to the injuries, you know, could it be from the load management? Could it be from the workload? Sure, you could argue that, but also guys could not practice and still get hurt. There's freak injuries that happen all the time, so you can't really pinpoint it on them doing too much. Now, what is important and what they should do if you are going to practice like this is you have to prioritize your recovery, especially with the coaches and the trainers. They have to make sure that guys are fresh for Sundays, because the last thing that you want is to get towards the end of the season and be practicing this type of way and now have guys getting tired in the fourth quarter and not being able to make it to overtime because their legs are giving out or they feel like they've been overused throughout the week. So I think that's a big factor in all this. But I think it's also important to remember that was just a clip of what Zay Flowers said. That was just some locker room talk with the guys saying, hey, man, full pads?
Our shit was hard.
Hell no.
Yeah.
Hey, it's one-on-ones, week 17. Shit. Like, you walk in the facility at the end of the year and you look at the schedule and it says full pads today. Shit, man, I'm still going to go out there and bust my ass. But that was just locker room talk, because he also went on to say, John Harbaugh helped me prepare better than I've ever prepared. He helped me get ready to play, not just mentally, but physically. He helped us go out there and be ready to play, to hit, and to succeed on the field because of the way that we practice. So it wasn't just a negative thing that he said that. I will say, too, I'm curious to hear from your opinion. I was a quarterback, so full pads, no pads, walkthroughs, didn't matter. It was all the same for us. But I like that they still did one-on-ones in week 17. I think that's important, because once OTAs and fall camp stop, you lose that competitive nature of going ones versus ones and twos versus twos. So not going a full contact period, but still getting some one-on-ones with the receivers and DBs, I think is good for a competitive edge. So I like that they did that. But, yeah, overall, I don't think Zay was taking a shot at John Harbaugh. I think they were just talking about how they did it in Baltimore and the pros and cons.
And what about all the years that Baltimore was lost in the AFC chip, lost in the wild card? Like, they were successful, bro. Y'all the number one seed.
Yeah.
They were still doing the same shit. That was still Harbaugh. They was practicing with, you know what I'm saying? They were successful doing it. And then you look at the Chiefs shit. They lived in the Super Bowl for like 3-4 years straight. Andy Reid run one of the toughest fucking programs in the NFL. I guarantee you they be full pads and one-on-ones, because they go. Andy don't play no game. Big Red plays no games. He got a real old school coaching style, and they shit is hard in Kansas City. And they hella successful. So, man, it's more than one way to skin a cat.
And for perspective, too, real quick, you only get 14 padded practices during the regular season. You get 11 the first 11 weeks, and then the last 6 weeks of the season, you only get 3 padded practices. So the NFL, the CBA, they made sure that they split those up. So it's not like they're going 2 or 3 padded practices a week. You've got
he make it sound one way, but every padded practice we can get, we got.
Yeah.
That's 14.
14 and 18 weeks if you count the box.
That's once a week, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, come on now.
What you got, doctor?
Oh, man, it's a lot. I remember your assessment about Lamar Jackson a few weeks ago and how he somehow couldn't deliver down the stretch over and over again for this team, specifically a team that wasn't available to take it the distance in the playoffs. And then you look at this statement. This statement can be muddled a little bit, but I look through it and I say, well, you got an old school coach that's stubborn, that refuses to adapt to the new school, and you got a bunch of players that may be a little bit more prima donna than usual, but you have to pay attention to your players and their bodies. Right? It's not your body. And you can say Andy Reid and certain other players, coaches like Bill Belichick, but then you talk about Sean McVay, right? Mm-hmm. Sean McVay was 33 when he came in. Mm-hmm. He understood the transition that needed to happen in order for success to come with the new era of football.
That's a great point.
Which you're talking about the new helmets, and you can't hit guys, the quarterbacks, and certain late hits, and all of these things that injure players. Mm-hmm. So why would we be in practice taking a risk on injuring players based on trying to get some type of pleasure out of seeing guys hit each other? Well, I look at the lens of basketball. I compare. When you talk about the veterans coming in, and we're going to do 5-on-5s, we're going to take a risk that somebody might get hurt on a screen, on a rebound, somebody land on somebody's ankle. What kind of risk do you want to take that if we're going into the playoffs? And you look at football, and it's like, all right, week 17, you're doing one-on-ones, you're doing certain things that you don't necessarily need to do. I remember Gerald telling me about Darrell Revis and how he prepared for games, and it was more of a walkthrough feel for him because he was more assessing the reads of what he needed to do on the field rather than going 100% hard. He's like, why you don't ever go hard? I think I need you to go hard. He's like, bro, it's not about going harder. It's about me reading exactly what I'm going to need to do.
But that was for Revis, though, because I can't do that shit. I need to stay, keep my feet up under me. I got to play full speed.
But do you need to hit motherfuckers, though? You don't necessarily need to hit. Going full speed is different.
They put full pads on. He asked him, was y'all tackling? He said, bro, we had full pads. He didn't say, yes, we was tackling. Yeah. Trust me, they not tackling.
They're not going to the ground. No.
They're not going to the ground. Absolutely ain't nobody touching Derrick Henry, Lamar Jackson, Zay. Ain't nobody putting a finger on them motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? But they got full pads on. And, we young, rich niggas, you know what I'm saying? We don't even want to put full pads. We got full pads today, coach. God damn. It's like, you know what I'm saying? And then when we say, all right, we shells, all we do is take the tight pants off. We keep the same girdle on with our pads on and put some shorts on. We happy with that. So that's no different.
The difference is.
Ain't no different.
When we go out there as hoopers and coach said, get taped. Get your ankles taped today.
Right.
We looking like, shit. This is going to be one of them practices where ain't no telling what's going to happen. We going to be running 15s. We're going to be running suicide. We're going to be doing a bunch of shit today.
Right.
It's not going to be a walkthrough day. But if we're doing a back-to-back and the coach is coming in here telling us we're going to have a 2-hour practice, we're looking at him like, why? Especially if we won the game prior.
Right.
So for the Ravens, you're looking at it like, all right, is the coaching style for them the conflict of the players looking at him crazy because none of them are healthy? They're all trying to figure out why we're not 100% when it's time to win. When it's time to win, get that ego shit out of here. We need to be healthy. So if a bunch of guys got knick-knack injuries, why are we going full pack? Why are we doing things we shouldn't be doing?
Yeah, the divide, which I think brings to you.
Yeah, okay. Context for this. As I kept saying through the year, Lamar had burned out on John Harbaugh. And Zay knows that from the inside out. And so Lamar is the leader of the team, and that means that the door is open now. It's open season to criticize John Harbaugh now that he's the Giants coach. And so Zay was comfortable and confident in going there on a podcast because that's what the locker room decided was it's his fault. It's John Harbaugh's fault because we had so many injuries that we practiced too hard. Okay, just for the record, in John Harbaugh's defense, at the end of the 2023 season, this Ravens team made it all the way to an AFC Championship game at home and was favored to beat Patrick Mahomes and Kelsey at home in the game to get to the Super Bowl.
Number one seed.
Number one seed. And what happened first play of the fourth quarter? They're down 17-7 at home, but Zay Flowers catches a pass near the goal line, and L'Jarius Sneed strips him, and Trent McDuffie falls on the loose football in the end zone, and it basically ended the game for the Baltimore Ravens. If he hangs on to the football and gets across the goal line, it's 17-14 early in the fourth quarter. They've cut it to 3, and maybe we're having a different conversation right now because maybe Lamar has a Super Bowl. He just might. Okay. So now, we talk about injuries. I've been doing this for a long time, covering both of your games at the game you guys played at the highest level. You also for sure. And I can't explain injuries. They're mysterious. They're inexplicable to me, because sometimes guys are just running free in practice, non-contact, and they blow their Achilles. I don't know. Or they tear their ACL just stumbling in practice. I don't know. But I do know this, that of all the players I've covered going back to the 1970s, in football, all I ever heard was, the harder I play, the healthier I stay. So a lot of the old guard, John Harbaugh era players believed in just play your ass off. Just go, whatever it is, practice, game, just go as hard as you can go, because that's how you avoid injuries. Yep. If you're thinking, if you let the thought get in the back of your, in your subconscious, I got to protect. Yep. Invariably, something's going to go wrong because you're not going full speed. Okay, now just for the record, and you can scoff at these numbers if you want, but if you look at last year, games missed in the NFL, total games missed by each team because of injury, the Ravens had 183 games missed. There were 21 other teams who had more games missed. Yep. 21. All the way up. So the Ravens had a grand total of 183 missed games. The Lions had 326, just for the record. Okay? But nobody talks about, the Lions were decimated by injury. I guess we might have brought it up, but it's not like a thing it was with the Ravens. The Ravens are hurt. Well, Matabike was hurt, and that was a big deal. And you brought that up early, because he's your pass rusher, and he played 2 games and was lost with a neck injury. Okay, that's bad. That's what these games missed don't take into account. Well, how good was the player? How valuable was the player who missed the games? I don't know. But look, I'm going to go old school with one last quick story. Cowboys of the 90s, I mentioned them before. So they break through in 1992. Nobody thinks they're ready to get there. They get Charles Haley, and they're going to the Super Bowl. And I'm with the team out here because it was played at the Rose Bowl. So we're in Pasadena, or we're actually in Santa Monica at the hotel. The Thursday before the Super Bowl, I'm in the lobby, late day, and the Cowboys come in from practice. And one of the leaders of the team, you won't remember him, was named John Giesick. He was starting offensive guard, but he'd been around for a while, and he was the one they listened to. And he comes straight over to me in the lobby, and he says, "You won't believe what that blankety blank just did." And he was talking about Jimmy Johnson, because they considered Jimmy a hot-headed psycho, because he was. But he was also a great football coach. So it's the Thursday before the Super Bowl. They go full pads, one-on-one, ones versus ones, scrimmage for an hour at UCLA. He said, we went full tilt, ones versus ones. We're tackling. We're knocking people down. Yeah. We're tackling the quarterback. It was just Jimmy saying, no, I'm going to get you to razor's edge the Thursday before the Super Bowl. Well, it's high risk, because obviously if you lose somebody, it's going to be on Jimmy. Yeah. And they didn't lose anybody, and they beat Buffalo 52-17. Okay? So that's another way to do it, right? Yep. So you can blame all you want about hard practices, and it comes off to me as an excuse. You just had a bad year. I don't know. Look, Lamar wasn't there for enough games. And that was just it. It was, you said it. It's almost like the football god said, no, not this year, because you said
the injury bug.
Okay,
you probably can go around the league every year. It's one team.
It just is.
All they guys is just hurt.
Yeah.
I mean, that don't mean they practice them real hard.
Yeah.
It just happens sometimes.
Yeah.
Even if we do have on full pads on week 12 and it's a Thursday, you're not gonna get 100% out of we don't know how to practice. Only day you're going to see the NFL guys play 100% full speed is on Sunday.
Yeah.
We can't even practice how we play on Sunday.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, I can't do that tempo only in the game. I can't do that tempo in practice for real.
Yeah.
We just not going to do it. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to happen.
Do we agree that it's a new time?
It is a new time, but this still football, though. It is
football.
It is new rules, but they're not that different.
Are these guys new? Is it a new generation of athlete, player?
Very.
When you talk about mentality,
yep,
mental health,
yeah,
right? Talk about don't hit them too hard, don't do certain things have been catered to the guys. So we talking about, he said 1990, 1992, 1993. You can mention the 2000s from what you know to be right,
Yeah.
as far as hard-nosed football. Talk about hard-nosed football. Let's go out here and let's, like you said, you don't know how to turn it down. I need to be out there moving and doing my thing. Today's football, today's sports, period, is being coddled, catered to. And if you don't accept that that is the new adjustment, you're going to lose your players.
Yep.
They know their body better than anything, and you think about it. This generation of players will accept sitting out based on what they feel compared to what they know. You may not know you're injured. I just feel like I shouldn't take it. I'm going to just sit out. And you may not even be injured. I've seen a bunch of guys just pack it in. I don't want to take the chance. You're not hurt, man. Go out there and play. 1993, 1995, from the 2000s, 99, Terrell Davis, a bunch of guys play hurt. And it's like, I love football. I'm going to play hurt.
Yep.
These guys don't have that same passion because they're getting paid. The money overweighs the passion of just going out there and playing hurt. So the coaches have to understand, I have to scale it back so that I don't get blamed at the end of the season for overdoing it. Because these players are going to blame me. These players are going to say, I was too much. We were doing too much. They didn't have enough rest. And you think about it, we got all day to fucking rest. It's really on us to take care of our bodies.
It is.
But if you can blame the coach for doing certain things you're not accustomed to, that's what's going to happen.
It's guys, everybody in the league play hurt. Like in football, I don't know about basketball. In football, 75% of these niggas hurt. Like, it's just part of it. You know what I'm saying? So in football, you gon' play hurt. Simple as that. Or you just never, if you only play when you're 100%, you probably get you 2-3 games in a year. So football, even the young guys, they playing hurt because they love the game. I don't agree with that. They fucking playing hurt. His problem was the full pads, but I'm telling you, even when you put on full pads, the linemen not coming off, they coming off, brother, we cool. Like it's a tempo that pros know how to practice at.
So is he tripping?
Yeah, Zay just, he's just trying to give him some clips. I'm doing y'all boys a favor for the potty.
Come on,
you know
man.
I'm doing y'all
Ain't
a favor
no
for
way.
the potty. I'm giving y'all some
But like
little
you said, he
I'm gonna have
followed
a
up
couple
with
people talking about
compliments.
hardball.
No way.
Zay been perfectly healthy.
But that's the thing too. That's what I said.
He been perfectly healthy. Well, he the one who's saying it, but Zay just been perfectly fine.
The response.
The Ravens really been healthy. You take out last year, the Ravens been in the AFC Chip, the division, or the wild. They've been a healthy football team. At the end of the year, they've been good. They've been healthy.
Yeah.
They just been losing in the playoffs.
Lamar wasn't healthy all season.
That's last year. That's 1 year. That's 1
He's
year.
been a tough 1 year.
Out of Lamar,
We
9
need
years, he's been available.
You look at that particular podcast and that particular conversation, the response from the other two guys tells you that this is a real conversation. It tells you that this happened and they like, y'all doing what? Excuse me? Y'all doing what? On what? We said, nah, I'm cool. And then you look at, I can't remember who the other guy was on the left.
Yeah.
Landry? So he's like, shit.
Coach, my ankle hurt.
Wait, so you just told me,
capping, though.
but you just told me they
one
play
of the
hurt.
hardest motherfucking working niggas ever to play football.
But what'd he do?
He ain't never gonna say, Coach, my ankle hurt.
But what'd he do?
Bruh. He just giving you some.
He telling you what guys do,
Yeah,
though.
now he's hard working in the media.
Yeah, now he working for the media.
He's telling you what guys do, though. This is what guys do. He's saying, hey, man, what is it, week 17? What we doing, Coach? Oh, hell no, I'm not on that. My knee hurt. My ankle hurt. I'm not out there doing that shit with y'all today. This is the same thing that happens in the NBA. When you say a guy might be ducking smoke for somebody, and he see the lineup, and he just played against this guy last night. He got 40 put on his head, and now I got Westbrook. Oh, hell no. Steve Nash is saying, nah, man, I got my hamstring.
But that's just the person. It don't matter who the coach is.
Yeah.
If a nigga think like that. That's
But
just him being
but
soft.
it's the coach that's pushing him in practice to make him say, I'm cool. I'm cool. Coach, listen, I got Westbrook tonight.
Well, I would take heed to that if all the teams who walked through and went very light, they was all the good teams, and all the teams who practiced hard was all the trash teams, then I'd be like, shit, he right. But that's just not the case.
Sports is just a blame game. When a
That's
team
just not the
doesn't
case.
do well, they gotta blame something. So the guys were hurt. Oh, what's the reason? We're practicing hard. They're gonna
Practicing too
find
hard.
a reason to
Was
blame.
y'all practicing too hard when y'all was in the AFC Chip, though?
But fuck the AFC chip.
They did the same thing.
They make it to the playoffs last year. This year.
I mean,
They
field goal,
should.
sure, but
So they were almost there to
Well, they
be
missed
there.
a 35-yard field goal.
Did Zay miss a pass?
it was wild.
I believe he missed the
Yeah,
pass.
they
that
missed
was-
it. Yeah.
So you look at
Drop
the
pass.
opportunity for him to take shots at somebody. Okay, cool. You're not going to
That's
take
not him.
accountability. Cool. But we can't ignore that this might be true.
Yeah.
We can't ignore that he might be actually like, yo, John was tripping. The whole time he was tripping. And we all been off him because he been tripping. He's not coming to us and asking us, hey, man, what y'all feeling today? How y'all feeling?
But he ain't come to you when y'all was in the AFC chip neither, though. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
We was doing this too, though. We out here hooping too. We hooping too, John. You're not responsible for us getting there just as much as we are responsible for getting us
that's
here.
true.
So we got to work together to be able to say, let's get back to this.
There was clearly a divide.
Yeah.
Okay, to Rashad's point, I will say this. I was shocked when today's football players let the Pro Bowl go to flag football. Because once upon a time, back in the day, football players, the stars of the game, would have just said, are you kidding? We're not playing flag football. We play football. Okay?
All right, well,
that happened.
In the regular season, when my game checks, them motherfuckers used to look like 275 bands. Ooh, shit, Lee. For that Pro Bowl, that'd be like 15 bands. I don't want to play full speed for the 15.
Okay.
Huh?
I don't want to play full speed for the 15 bands. First of all,
Is it about the 15 bands or is it about the Pro Bowl?
It's about the season just ended in December. The Pro Bowl ain't gonna be the February. Shit, League gonna be 213. Then I played 204. In February, I'm 213.
But
I'm gonna get hurt if I come out this bitch
But
and
do
play
you
fast.
have to perform in this particular game at 215 and you
I
leave,
don't.
and you?
I already performed. This is my
That's
reward
what I'm
for
saying.
performing. I don't have to perform no more.
So you could go out there and get your 215 and do, we out here just like it's the Major League All-Star game, just like it's the NBA All-Star game. Hey, listen, we ain't really out here trying to.
Exactly, we chilling, bro.
Yeah,
We
they all
on turn
expect to
down
watch,
mode.
though.
So I wouldn't have no problem with it being flagged. Hell yeah, make that motherfucker flag. Shit, cause I would hate to see somebody come out here and get their knee blew out or get a concussion out here, jumping, get hit, smack his head on the turf and get hurt from this bullshit ass game. You know what I'm saying? I know it's for the fans. We out here, we putting on the show for the fans. I signed 5,000 autographs this weekend. I took 5,000 pictures for the fans. We don't got to get hurt for the fans, though.
Okay,
So I
I
wouldn't
got
have
it.
a problem with it being flagged.
But you know what? You were on the cusp of new school thinking, right? You're more
Yeah, I played
enlightened.
19 was my last season.
Okay, all right. Because there was a day, man, back in the 80s even, but I'll definitely go back to the 70s, when pro football players would say, if I get the honor of playing in the Pro Bowl, I'm going to play football, and I'm going to go out there and I'm going to play it hard. I don't care if you pay me nothing. If you honor me and say I'm one of the best, I'm going to go play like the best. Okay, it's not the way you're thinking. You're stepping back from it saying, wait a second, for $15,000, I ain't risking nothing because I weigh 213.
But Gerald disagreed with you. Gerald came out, he wanted the ball in the Pro Bowl.
He
Remember
did.
that?
He
Do
did.
you
Well,
not see the contradiction in that though?
And what?
We're talking about the coaches pushing guys in practice to play. You saying, hey man, if we can play.
That's your job. That's work time. That's full pay.
No, but I'm saying just as far as the passion to play football, like you saying, like guys will play hurt. Guys gonna play hurt. They're gonna go out there. They want to play. They want to do that. So you go to the Pro Bowl. It's the same thing.
It's not
without the flag football thing. It's like, hey, don't you want to play football?
Without
Don't
the
you
check
wanna?
too.
Still, like he just said, I want to go out here and get acknowledged based on being the best. So regardless of the check, this is a celebration for me to go out and continue this last game and do what exactly the fans want us to do. Go out here and showcase that we're the best. So it's like the coddling. We're celebrating the coddling through the Pro Bowl and the flag football and saying it's okay. Because we don't want nobody to blow out their knee.
Right.
We don't want nobody. But then in these practices, you could do the same thing.
Yeah.
But that's real work, though.
And you're working towards a goal. The Pro Bowl, there's nothing that incentivizes that.
The reward for
what,
the hard work that you put in.
But you're already getting acknowledged for that by
for being here. This
and
is the
fans
reward.
see you and they The fans would much rather you come over and sign autographs and talk to them with the helmet off and then flags and saying what's up to them than playing full contact a game on the field and going out there and hitting each other and getting hurt. Because then if your best player gets hurt, that entire fan base is going to say, get rid of this shit. Like, I don't want my guys playing in the Pro Bowl.
Exactly. But imagine if they get hurt in practice.
Then
Week
fine.
17.
That's okay.
part of the game.
That's part of the game.
This is what I'm saying. The same fans that want to see them in the Pro Bowl, we're the same fans that want to see you in the Super Bowl.
A fan
we
would
want
much
to see you in the playoffs.
But a fan would much rather see their team and their favorite player in the Super Bowl than see them in the Pro Bowl. I 1,000% believe that.
I agree that, but if we're gonna be stopped from going to the Super Bowl based on our coach doing one-on-ones,
But you're not.
in Week 17, and
not.
someone getting hurt in Week 17 based on, okay, we're just gonna do this because I'm stubborn and I'm old school. What's the difference between you getting hurt here and you getting hurt there? You're still getting hurt. The fans are being cheated on the Super Bowl and they're being cheated on the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, but this is a team, too, that has been relevant for a very long time because the recipe that they have had when it came to preparation and practice has been working. And we just talked about they've been in the playoffs year in and year out. They've been in the AFC Championship game. They've had, for the most part, a healthy roster year in and year out. This last year, they just got hit with the injury bug. But on top of that, though, Kinsey said it. Majority of those injuries happened early on in the season and the midway point of the season. It wasn't like the end of the year. Guys were just falling off the cliff, getting hurt.
They was coming back
early on. They were all coming back later.
All right, well, things are going to be different for the Ravens. They got a new coach. We're going to move on.
Yeah, okay.
The draft is in 6 days, so let's get into that. Okay, so some of the biggest mock draft experts in the world have one thing in common. So I'm going to pull this up real quick on the screen. But we've got the Cowboys trading up. This is a thing in common. So ESPN Mel Kiper and Todd McShay from The Ringers and then the Athletics' Dane Bergler all have the Cowboys trading up for Sonny Styles. So the latest Underdog Football Show mock has the Cowboys trading up to 8 to land Reuben Bain. So Skip, we know you got to talk about this. We got to get your opinion. Should the Cowboys trade up in this draft?
Yes, they should. But I'm going to first tell you what I fear Jerry will do, and then I'll tell you what he should do. Jerry Jones is in all his glory right now because he lives for the draft. So he is the center of attention because every mock has him trading up, as you just pointed out. This is what I fear he will do because you have to understand Jerry, as we're talking about Will Anderson being not box office, Jerry is all about box office. I fear that Jerry Jones on draft night will trade up with Arizona to the 3rd overall pick, and he will take Jeremiah Love. I'm doing bad. I'm doing your sport. Jeremiah Love. I fear that he will take Love. Okay. Because everybody says Jeremiah Love is the best player in the draft. And Jerry would love being on the hot seat with the world saying, Jerry, you had the worst defense in the history of your franchise. How could you not take a defensive player? And he would sit back and say, because I got the best offensive player in the draft, and we're going to beat you with offense, and we are going to fill the seats and win the ratings, because that would be a box office move. Am I right? Would that not be a shocker?
But he just paid.
Okay, but he paid him a little bit. Yeah, you're talking about
Javonte Williams, yeah.
Okay, this is 2016, I fear, all over again, because if you remember back in 2016, he had Darren McFadden, who was from Arkansas, which is Jerry's school, and he'd gone for 1,000 yards the year before, and I'm thinking, we're good. We're not great there, but we're good there, just like we are now. And what did he do? He shocked me with Jalen Ramsey sitting on the table right there to go 5.
When got Zeke.
He takes Ezekiel Elliott, and I think, what are you doing? He says, we're going to strengthen the strength. You know, we're an offensive football team because they are a show. So that's what I fear he's going to do, and I say no, Jerry, but it would be a classic vintage Jerry move. Okay, this is what I would do. The first thing I would do is, if he hasn't already done it, you got to go to Cleveland, and you got to say, Cleveland, will you take 12 and 20 and a couple of down-the-line picks for Myles Garrett? Because that's a showstopper for me. Wow. That's a difference maker. That's a corner turner for me, where let's go get Myles Garrett at age 30, and he'll be 31 in December. But let's bring him home. He went to Arlington Martin High School. He grew up in the shadow of Jerry World. Bring home Myles Garrett. That would be number one, because then I would say, okay, now we got something going. Now we have a chance with Myles Garrett for the next 3 or 4 prime years. If that doesn't work, if they won't do it, and we've seen signs that they may, because they kept pushing back the bonus money.
Contract,
Yeah. Okay. Number 2, you're going to have to go all the way to the Jets, and it's going to cost you a lot. But you're going to have to, because David Bailey's going to go second to the Jets. But if you can go there, and would they take 12, 20, and some stuff down the line, because they have 3 fifths. You might have to give them all 3 of your 5th round picks to go up to 2 to take David Bailey, because that's the closest thing to Myles Garrett that's available in this year's draft. And I do think he'll be a difference maker, and I do think he could be the equivalent of Will Anderson for the next 10 years, okay? And then my third option would be, because the draft is so rich at the top, that just by the mere math of it, if you just sit tight at 12, I think you can get a really good player at 12. And I think Reuben Bain, just because of the car accident that came up and just because of the short arms, I think he could be there at 12. A lot of people don't, but I do. Now, that's the gamble. You just have to sit still, which is Jerry's, that's not the way he's built. But if you sat still and got Reuben Bain at 12, and maybe you got Messidor, his Miami teammate, you got the 2 bookend rushers from the U, I would take that at 20. I would take Jermod McCoy at 20, because you like Delane a little more at cornerback just because he was hurt. But, man, when I watched Jermod McCoy in his junior year, or it's the previous year at Tennessee, he was really good. To me, a little better than Delane. So would he be sitting there just because he didn't play last year at 20? If you could get those 2, I would be happy with that. But again, the home run is to go get Myles Garrett with your 2 first-round picks.
I think they should. I think they should trade up, and it's 3 blue chip defensive players, in my opinion, in this draft. That's Bailey, that's Caleb Downs, and that's Mansour Delane.
Okay.
So I think they may have a chance. I don't know if Bailey going number 2 to the Jets, because they cancel his visit. Like,
yeah.
I don't see why you would cancel.
I just don't read any. I don't read into that. I don't put stock in that.
It mean a lot to me. If it was between Reese and Bailey, yeah. I want you to come. I want both of y'all to come visit me. I want to spend that whole day or 2 with you.
Maybe.
Did Reese go to New York?
I think so.
He had a visit there.
Yeah.
And they spent 2 days with him.
Yeah.
After them 2 days with him, they canceled the visit with the next one. So to me, that say this our guy right here. We want you to know it.
Okay.
That's what that say to me. So I don't know if David Bailey gonna be gone at 2. So I think Dallas, they got a chance to come up with the Cardinals at 3, like you said. The Cardinals, they trying to rebuild a whole football team.
They
so
are.
if they can get 12, 20, and some extra shit, I think they would do it. They probably trying to pick a tackle. They would still be able to get their tackle at 12.
Yep.
So I think they'd be good with it. So I think the Cowboys come up to 3 and get David Bailey. If David Bailey do go 2, I still think you come up to 3 and get Caleb Downs, because he's going to be gone by 5.
You think Caleb Downs can be on before 5?
Yeah, I think Caleb Downs gone, man.
Really?
He top tier. I don't think he's going to get past the Giants. If the Giants get to Caleb Downs, I think that's the player who the Cowboys and the Giants like.
A lot of people have him going, though, 10.
I think he going earlier than 10.
Okay.
I think he'll go to New York. So even if he do go 10, the Cowboys can't get him. Then you come up to 3, you get Caleb Downs, you get David Bailey. If nobody trade right there, you go to 6.
And you're out on Sonny Styles.
And I'm finna get there. You get to number 6 pick. If David Bailey gone, Caleb Downs gone, I'm gonna try to trade with Cleveland.
Okay.
Come up to 6 and get Mansour Delane. I'm trying to come get my corner. That's the 3rd blue chip guy. I'm not trading up to number 6 to get a joker. If Reese is still there, I think he'd be gone though. I'm not trading up to get an inside linebacker who wasn't even the most dominant inside linebacker in college football. Like, I'm a trader. He had the most dominant combine, but he wasn't the most dominant in college football, was he, Skip?
He was in the Big Ten championship game because he had 12 tackles
That's
against
one
Indiana.
game for the entire season. Before the combine, would you say Sonny Styles is the best inside linebacker in football?
Well, who would you say is better?
The people who had better years than him.
Yeah. Like a Rodriguez?
He had a much better year than him. Ant Hill Jr. had a better year than him.
Yeah. I'll take Sonny Styles over Rodriguez just on sheer athletic ability.
Yeah, see, that's not how I'm putting my football team together. I'm putting my football team together from the tape and the history of you playing football. What your whole college career look like? And I just feel like Sonny Styles his whole college career is not better than a lot of inside linebackers in college football to me. So I'm not trading up to go get him. I'm not coming up to go get him. If I come up to number 6, it got to be Delane. And now if Delane going at 6, shit, I'm staying put at 12. I'm going to just keep my 12, keep my 20. Maybe I can get McCoy at 12.
You might.
Maybe Ruben Bain fall to me at 12. And then I could and I say Ruben Bain gone, McCoy. If them guys gone, then shit, I might try to trade back. Let me trade back with somebody and get 2 late first-round picks.
Okay, I agree.
You know what I'm saying? Maybe with like the Chiefs. The Chiefs may want to come up and get Jordan Tyson and Kenyon Sadiq at 9 and 12. They got a late first-round 29th pick.
They do.
I might trade with them. Had 20 and 29. Give me y'all second-round pick too, and y'all could come up to this 12. You know what I'm saying? I had 2 late first rounds. Maybe I get Toledo safety, Oregon safety, Terrell out of Clemson. I could get 2 of those 3 guys with my late first round picks, and then my early second round picks. I'm gonna get one of them linebackers I just said, and Hill Jr. Rodriguez. Now I filled 3 holes in my defense.
Okay,
I got a corner, a safety, and an inside linebacker. If I could do that, if 2 of them guys show up and be players for me, starters, I'm gold.
And
if one of them be a starter for me, I'm gold.
You mentioned the Oregon safety. The more I watch tape of him, just YouTube tape, and I see the plays that he kept making. Thieneman, did he catch your eye?
Yeah. When we played against him with USC, just scouting him, watching his tape leading into that game. Yeah, he's a do-it-all safety. He's a playmaker. He has a lot more value than I think people are giving him right now in this draft. Okay. He might sneak up into the top 15.
I agree. He in the right place at the right time, and he could run.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He good size, and he
Didn't
can run.
Didn't he run 4.3?
I think he ran a 4.3.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He fast as shit. He big, he fast as shit, and he's never out of position. So I'll take him late first round. I'll take Warren late first round. McNeil Warren from Toledo.
Yes.
He a ball hawking safety,
He's a ball
playmaker.
Yeah.
I'll take him late first round. And low key, the more I've been watching Avion Terrell,
I agree.
That motherfucker could play, man.
And his brother,
It looked like he been playing with Big Bro for a long time.
It does.
He could play. So if I can get them late first round, I'll be good with that. Give me a second round pick. Get me an inside linebacker, Rodriguez and Hill Jr. I'll be good with that. So if I was the Cowboys, if I was Jerry, that's how I play it.
Yeah, if there's a player defensively that they think can change their franchise that they don't think will be available at 12, then you absolutely make the move to trade up and go get him. I really believe that. And I know there's multiple areas on their defense they need to address, but I still think they could do that even if they trade up, because they would have to give up most likely their 12th and their 20th pick to move up in the draft. But from the team they trade with, depending on where they trade at, if it's the Browns at 6, maybe even the Cardinals at 3, which I don't think is likely, but if they trade with one of those teams that are in that 10 to 6 range, they would most likely get an early second-round pick from them, meaning that they could pick early on and still address another positional need at 35 to 40. And I think in this draft class, the value from 20 to the early second round of that 35th to 40th pick is damn near the same. I think you could get a good player at 20. I think you could also get an equally as good player at 35, 36, 37 in that range as well. So the Cowboys could potentially go get a guy that they want, a Downs. I like Sonny Styles, and I'll talk about him in a second, or a Sonny Styles, or someone that they really need that can make an immediate impact from day one and put their defensive coordinator, Christian Parker, in the best position to succeed, and also still address an edge defender or a cornerback, because those 2 position groups, the draft class is very deep in those positions. You could go get a guy that's a high caliber, potentially day one starter with that 35th to 40th pick at an edge or a corner, while you still go get a day one playmaker early on in the draft. So I like it. I really do. And if they were to move up, Skip, I see a lot of people saying Sonny Styles. Maybe I'm drinking the Kool-Aid, but I'm on board with it. I'm all in. I think Sonny Styles is that guy, man. At 6'5", 240 pounds, he can do it all. He's physical in the run game. He can cover great in the pass game, both in man and zone coverage. He has great instincts and does a great job of diagnosing what the offense is doing, which allows him to play quickly and play fast and use his 4.4 speed to his advantage. And he's also a versatile player. He can play multiple different positions. He played safety in college. Then he moved over to linebacker. He has the speed to cover. He has the quickness and the recognition to play downhill and go beat an offensive lineman working up to the second level and make a play in the backfield. So if they really like Sonny Styles, if they think that's their guy, then I'm all in with it. I think they move up, go get him. I don't think sitting back and waiting at 12 to hope to get your guy and maybe something works out is what the Cowboys need to do right now. I think they're very close to being a Super Bowl contender. Why not go make a splash play, go get a guy you love, and then address another positional need early in the second round?
Okay, but to Aqib's point, and I'm with him on this, Sonny Styles does not rush the passer. He blitzed some, but not a lot.
Yeah, but
he's not a difference maker at a position that you need the difference made.
But they already addressed that. And I know they didn't go get a Myles Garrett or a Max Crosby, but they got a Rashawn Gary. They got a Quinnen Williams in the middle. They have guys on that defense that can still put pressure on the quarterback. Now you add a do-it-all playmaker like Sonny Styles in the middle of that defense. Pair him up with Overshown. Are you kidding me? Those two guys in the middle of that defense, give either one of them the green dot. Let them call the plays. Let them work downhill. Let them work sideline to sideline.
Definitely green dot.
That is going to be immediately one of the best linebacker cores in the NFL. And then later on or early in the second round, address maybe a cornerback position. Maybe go get a safety or try to find a way to trade back into the first round if you want to give up more capital with a team that's willing to trade back. So, I mean, I don't know. I think they could do multiple things, but I just think them sitting back and waiting for them to hopefully get their guy is not the best move for them right now because they're in a position to go make a run next year if they nail this draft.
Okay.
Doctor, how you feeling?
It was entertaining listening to you guys. Shuffle around for the Cowboys, trade up for what? And they need to trade back.
They could.
They should. You got pieces. When you talk about a 10-year vet in Dak, you trade up. You trade up when you got a young quarterback and you're trying to rebuild and you're trying to create foundation. They got all the things that they've needed. Like you said, it can be a contender. So you're going to bring in young players and depend on them. I don't think that's really the answer. I mean, you look at the offensive line, the depth. I think you go take 12 and 20, you go get Myles Garrett. You try to build those assets that you have left over to create your offensive line stability. You just brought in a DC, a young guy. Are you expecting him to take you to the promised land with a bunch of other young talent? That can't be the expectation for the Dallas Cowboys. I'm pretty sure. We're not talking about the Arizona Cardinals. We're talking about the Lakers of football. We're talking about guys who are expecting the nostalgia of the storyline to be take us to the promised land finally, Jerry. What are we doing? So I feel like if you trade back, you actually build around what you've already had that you've been missing, and that's quarterbacks protection. You need to be able to give Dak more time. CD's going to show up, but then you look at the defense wholeheartedly, like you just said. Like you got guys that can rush and put pressure on the quarterbacks and on the defense, but the cornerback, the safety, all of that stuff, depending on young players to come in and make that impact, year one, year two, I don't think you take a chance on this draft. You may take a chance next draft, maybe the draft after that, but I don't see Sonny and those guys being difference makers. This is not a difference maker draft. This is a draft where you collect assets and you go out and trade those assets for pieces that you need to build around a Dak Prescott. Now, is Jerry going to fulfill all of the little prophecies that giving the Cowboys a championship again? I don't think so, because Jerry makes a bunch of crazy decisions. Getting rid of Micah Parsons was one of them. But could he get rid of Dak Prescott to rebuild? What would be the reason for trading up to the number 3 to take a running back? And we can go and try to rebuild and take a quarterback. Like, I don't see
what quarterback? There's no quarterbacks.
I'm thinking Mendoza. I'm thinking
you're gonna trade up to number 1.
I'm just thinking he's crazy.
Yeah.
So for him to make a drastic move to rebuild would be to give up on what you have. And I don't think that he's that crazy to do that, to give up on somebody he's paid, like Dak Prescott.
He makes the most money in pro football at $60 million a year.
So why not build around that foundation and get him what he needs? You bring in more young guys, it's just like we're moving backwards. Trading up, you're moving backwards.
See, blue chip guys ain't they don't fit in that boat. Blue chips, they come in and they start.
Yeah.
But who's the blue chips?
I just told you, David Bailey, that's a blue chip.
Yeah.
Caleb Downs, that's a blue chip. And Mansour Delane, that's a blue chip. Them guys gonna come in and start and be productive. You're gonna see we're gonna be sitting on the same couch about week 6. And I'm gonna be like this.
You were the main guy, though. You the main guy to say it's harder to translate from the college to the NFL. And you constantly say that. with young guys playing in college. It's like, hey man, you got to do that shit on this side.
Yeah.
It's hard. It ain't that easy to just come in and XYZ, right?
Talib got that eye. I'm telling you, the guys who gonna do it, I know how to look at them.
But you know, this ain't no top tier talent draft. This ain't no top.
This is a great draft for real, bro. I'm telling you,
It's solid.
This top 15 guys in this draft.
Yeah. That top guy,
That
the
top
second
15,
level,
bro, is nice.
You can still get value from 15 to 50, maybe 60. Those guys all fit in a similar category. But I agree that the top of this
Even the
draft
guys they ain't
is
talking
very
about.
talented.
Clemson D tackle, O State D tackle. Them guys gonna come in and be a damn good player. Rodriguez and Hill Jr. Ain't nobody talking about them. They saying they second round linebackers. Watch these guys, bro. I'm telling you.
If you Dallas, are you drafting to win or are you drafting to just be back where you always are?
The Cowboys don't need that. They don't need nothing on offense. I wouldn't touch.
I wouldn't touch
they were
offense
ranked
either.
number 2 overall on offense.
I don't think they need a
They
body
have
on
Pickens
offense.
for one more guaranteed year.
They made some plays on defense. They filling holes. They got a few more holes to fill.
So if you drafting to win, you draft to collect the assets to go trade pieces that you know you need.
But that ain't drafting to win. That's drafting to build. If I'm drafting to trade, that's building.
We're not
drafting
building.
to win. I'm drafting a guy who gonna start on. As soon as he get here, April. The next day he come here, his locker right here. His number is this. You starting day one.
Yeah, but you
That's what I'm
you're
drafting
filling
now.
shoes though.
Starting.
But you're filling shoes now. You're filling shoes from a mistake that I made to get rid of one of the number 1 pass rushers, could be essentially a Hall of Famer all time. You got rid of Michael Parsons and you're trying to cover up your mistake by going in.
You already covered that mistake.
How?
Quentin Williams. That shit covered. You seen Quentin Williams pressure up the middle. Pressure up the middle. Oh yeah, Jerry smiling
That's
like
not
that.
the same.
You see that pressure?
That's not the same.
Bro,
It's not the same
Parsons
as
and
Micah.
Quentin Williams, bro, it's hey.
Micah's going to
Apple
deliver
Jordan.
Green Bay a fucking championship. He's going to help them get a championship. Aside with Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs and those guys out there, this is what they needed. So you gave them what they needed, and now you need to fill a void based on going to the draft and depending on another young guy. It's backwards to me. It's backwards. And I get it, if you're going to go get corners or safeties to do that, but as far as linebacker, D-line, like I'd rather go get an O-lineman, man, and make sure we got max protection on our offense and depend on our offense.
Edges are closers, bro. They if you got a good team around them and then you got that good edge, man, you gotta have that. So that's why I'm drafting. I'm drafting difference making spots, man. So
what are you willing to give up for Myles Garrett and still not have to depend on?
Of course we'll want Myles Garrett.
But I think the problem with that is if they were to give up 12 and 20 and maybe another pick to go get Myles Garrett, you still have holes to fill at corner, at linebacker, and at safety. And I know Myles Garrett could make up for a lot of deficiencies you have on defense, but defense is a team game. You need guys that can rush. You need guys that can cover. You can't just get away with one dominant pass rusher and not guys in the back end as well.
You acting like like it's empty. Like the positions are not empty. There are players that fill the spot.
They brought some guys in.
They have to play. I think everybody wants an all-pro guy in these positions. You got to deal with what you got, and these guys got to show up and play. You play for the Cowboys. You got to play with pride and passion. And I believe when they lost Micah, those guys still showed up and played. They still showed up and proved that they're still players.
They ranked 30 in total defense.
But they still showed up. They still got to show up and play. It ain't like there's nobody in those positions. No. So if you want great players to be at those positions, you got to make sacrifices to get those great players. Are you willing to make those sacrifices? And what
Skip, how do you feel about?
Want to know the truth? You just want Jerry Jones to screw it up because you're an Eagles fan. Right? Am I right? Yep, there we go.
I'm just saying, he will. Eventually, it's going to happen.
Jerry gonna do work, man.
He's
gonna
been
make the
pretty
right
good at the draft.
I think, and
Reed's gonna go second.
I know we give you a lot of shit, Skip, about your Cowboys, but I'm with Aqib. I don't think they're far off. I think if they can get 2 splash players on defense in this draft, they got a new DC, so they got a fresh mind on that side of the football. They got Quentin Williams, they got Rashad Gary, they got Overshown, who I love. They got some key pieces on that side of the ball. If they can add 2 talented players and then fill it with some other depth guys around them and maybe find a diamond in the rough later in the draft, with that offense that they have right now that they don't need to touch because they have Dak and CeeDee and Pickens, Javonte Williams, they could immediately be contenders next year. They just got to make the right decision. So I don't think giving up all that to go get one guy is worth it. But if they can move up, I'm with either one. I'll say that, Aqib. I think if they can get a Sonny Styles or a Caleb Downs, if they move up to 6, if they're either one of them are available, if they can get one of those guys there and then still get a edge rusher or a corner, depending on who they get at that 35th to 40th pick, I think that'll help them. I think that's a win for them. I would say they won the draft.
Yeah. What did you think in the end of Savon Revel last year that they stole in the 3rd round because he didn't play his final year?
I didn't think much.
You couldn't see it?
I didn't see it. I'd seen all the. You said he was great in man and all this. I just seen a lot of mishaps. I know it's his first time in the game. You got to get your feet up under you. Still trying to get healthy as you get your feet up under you, but. I ain't say like, all right, next year we got Revel, we got a starting corner. Nah, I'm saying we got Bland. Hopefully Bland can stay healthy. Mm-hmm. If Bland go down, then okay, we got Revel. But I'm saying I need Bland and I need another starting corner still. I mean, you brought in Kobe.
Kobe Durant.
You know what I'm saying? You brought in Kobe, so I'll be good with Kobe, Bland, Hooker maybe, Arizona who we brought in.
Yeah, you brought in.
And then now shit. I think you throw Caleb Downs in there with that secondary, I'm good now. Now out of Caleb and Arizona, one of y'all could go play the nickel when it's nickel time. So I think you throw Caleb Downs in with that, with the front they got right now. 2nd round, you give me a Rodriguez or an Anthill Jr. I got 2 rookies starting.
Yep.
Man, look, Cowboys should do work with that.
Okay.
Well, yeah, the guys are disagreeing on the Cowboys. Let's talk about all the trades in the draft in general, okay? Because the GM of the Chiefs, Brett Veach, he had this to say. I'm going to play this.
I think that the fans will be in for a treat next Thursday because I think that, you know, the grades are going to be so close from some of these tackles and DNs and other receivers that a lot of these guys that are mocked high may go a little lower, and a lot of these guys that are getting mocked a little lower may go a little higher because I think they're so close this year. It's not this huge gap and big fall off. And even with the offensive linemen, I mean, there's traits that you like and some things that all these guys need to clean up and work on. But I think that the grades are so close that it'll come down to the scheme fit and, you know, the coach's analysis, the vision, the fit for these guys. So I think it should be an entertaining night and look, there'll probably be a lot of trades. And I think that's what a draft like this, when you don't have, you know, 2 or 3 franchise quarterbacks and, you know, a Will Anderson or a Myles Garrett, I think it does lend itself to open up to a lot of fun and a lot of excitement. So I think from a fan's perspective, they should have a lot of fun next Thursday.
A lot of fun, a lot of excitement. He's pretty much saying there's going to be a lot of trades going down. So, Aqib, what trades would you want to see on Thursday next week?
Me?
Yeah, you. Yeah,
Me? Shit, you know.
Hard to believe.
Mine probably going to have something to do with Denver. You know what I'm saying?
I'd say.
That's just what I want to see. And I would love to see the Broncos trade that late 2nd round pick that we got, you know what I'm saying, that 62nd pick, and come get the Jets' 44th pick. The Jets got the 33rd pick and the 44th pick. Just come up a little bit in that 2nd round, right? Maybe give them our 4th round pick. You know what I'm saying? Come get that 44th pick and get Anthill Jr. That's what I want us to do, man. Come get this guy, man. I think the Jets will do it because they got 2 picks in the 1st round. They still had 2 picks in the 2nd round. Now, if we give them our 4th, they had 3 picks in the 4th round. That's 7 picks in the first 4 rounds. Team like the Jets trying to rebuild a team, that's how you rebuild a team, right, Cody?
Yeah.
7 picks in 4 rounds.
Yep.
That's how you rebuild a team. So it worked out for the Jets, you know what I'm saying? And Anthill Jr., I'm telling you, I've been watching this boy make plays for a long-ass time. Texas guy, went to Denton Ryan, played for True Buzz, my 7-on-7 football team.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So I've been watching this boy make plays all through high school. He go to Texas and become one of their best defensive players. Now, you in the SEC, you play for Texas, and you one of their best defensive players. Going crazy. All he did was make plays. 17 career sacks, 31 and a half career tackle for loss, 8 forced fumbles, 3 interceptions in his career. See, now them career numbers, you was in the Big 12 and the SEC, them career numbers that I want to see that say he dominated inside linebacker play.
Yep, he did.
Throughout his whole career. He dominated this shit. And he missed the last 4 games with a little broke bone in his hand.
He did.
Or some shit like that for Texas. So went to the combine, killed it. You know what I'm saying? Dominated, ran low 4.5, 4.5 flat, 4.51. 37-inch vertical jump, 10.5 broad jump. Dominated that shit as a 6'3", 240-pound linebacker. All he do is make plays. And I think that's the last piece of the puzzle for them Broncos on that defense is an athletic linebacker who could cover sideline or do it all linebacker. I think he the final piece.
Where do you have him going? How high do you
I said we should come. We at 62 right now in the second round. We should come up to 44. That's
I just think he'll be gone.
You don't think he'd be gone by 44?
I love him too because I'm an Oklahoma fan, so I had to watch him just make play after play after play.
A lot of people got him going a little bit after 44. Him and Rodriguez is like 47, 48. Yeah. You know, all them tackles going to start going at the beginning of the
top of the second round, he's going to go.
But the beauty of it is they can wait and see. Like, if they don't get him, if they don't have a guy they love, if they don't want if he's gone by then, cool. We'll just sit back and get another positional need in the third round and move on. We don't need to jump up.
I feel it. If we can find a way to come get Ant Hill Jr.
That's
second round.
He's just a tackling machine.
Fast as shit, athletic.
Yeah.
Ball player.
What trades do you want to see?
Like he's saying, it's going to be a lot of close grades, so it's going to create chaos within the whole draft. And chaos creates opportunity, and opportunity for a lot of these teams, i.e. the Chargers or the Eagles, when you're looking at offensive line stability, you need to go and get protection for your quarterbacks. I think the Chargers, most importantly, need to protect their generational talent. They got great offensive firepower. They got great defensive firepower. And one thing they got to do is protect Justin a little bit more back there. And I think that if they go get kid from Penn State, kid from Utah, guys that can actually go in and create impact right away as far as protecting either Eagles or Chargers, they can benefit from something like that could potentially put a team like the Chargers into playoff contention and allow Justin to really showcase more than what he's done. I think we all know that he can throw the ball.
Yeah.
He's a special talent. And if you're using the draft to do anything, especially with all these close grades, go get what you need, and I think the certainty is a lot more than the potential and the value behind what you think can happen. You need the certainty. I think the smartest teams go after certainty, what we know is going to benefit our team. And I think for Chargers specifically, for them to make some noise, they need to address that offensive line. And I think the same with the Eagles. I don't think that we had a lot of protection schemes that got us what we needed when the run. We're talking about Saquon Barkley and being able to do what he needs to do. We need better blocking. So I think those two teams I would like to see build the offensive line a little bit more.
Yeah.
You just need to keep Lane Johnson healthy for 17 games.
Yeah.
That's hard to do at 40.
Well, the Chargers need to keep Paul Slater healthy as well, too, up on offense. I don't know if there's necessarily any trades I want to see, but listening to Veach talk, I think there are some things that will happen, and it got me thinking. This is why the draft is so exciting, but the first trade I think to pay attention to is the one we just talked about. I think Dallas will make a jump forward and go get a guy early in the first round and move up from 12 maybe to the top 10, potentially even the top 5. Another team to keep an eye on is Cleveland. Cleveland's sitting at number 6 right now.
Yep.
If they don't get the guy that they absolutely love, and we saw it last year, they traded back from 2, so they're not afraid to do that. Andrew Berry has shown that he values draft capital maybe more than a high pick. So if there's not a guy they love at 6, they could potentially trade back maybe with your Cowboys and now have 3 first-round picks. And a team that's trying to rebuild their roster, that draft capital, especially in the first round, is so valuable. They could address multiple positions on the offense to put them in a great position in just one day by getting three first-round picks. The other team to pay attention to is the Jets. Now, I don't think they'll move from 2. That's either Arvell Reese or it's David Bailey. Whoever they like more, that's who they're going to get. But then they pick again at 16. And if they want to be aggressive, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they jump up from 16 to go get one of these playmakers at wide receiver, because they've talked about needing to add some pieces on offense. Do they have, some want to jump forward from 16, go get another guy? Or if they don't, do they jump back into the first round with their early second round pick? I've heard it. If they love a receiver or if they love a Ty Simpson, that name keeps getting brought up. Are they going to be a team that gets a little nervous and wants to jump into the first round like the Giants did last year with Jackson Dart and maybe go get a Ty Simpson in the first round? I don't love that. I don't think Ty Simpson's a first-round guy. I think they could still get him in the second round if they really love them, but I wouldn't be surprised. You know it, Lee. Teams start to panic a little bit on draft day.
They're getting their quarterback next year, man.
And they want to go get him, which I think they should too. Which I think they should too.
In the midst of them tanking, they're going to start to get the pieces for Art.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We start to get them a tackle.
You think that's the
and
piece?
a wide out.
That's what they want?
Oh, yeah, they want Arch for sure. They want Arch. I'm telling you.
And they've got 9 picks in this draft.
They set it up
move
perfect.
up. They could spend some if they want to.
I like it.
But then another team to keep an eye on is the Las Vegas Raiders. So they take Fernando Mendoza first overall. That's a done deal. I don't think anybody would argue that. I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm going to call it now, if they maybe jump back into the first round and get a receiver to pair him up with. And that could potentially be Omar Cooper Jr., who was his teammate at Indiana. He's mocked as a late first-round guy. Maybe the Raiders, who have 10 draft picks in this draft, spend some of those to jump back into the first round, get a weapon for Fernando Mendoza, get a weapon for Clint Kubiak. We saw what he did with JSN and Cheat and Cup. Get him some more weapons on offense so they can be better offensively. But those are some teams I think could potentially make some big moves on Thursday. Either way, I can't wait to watch it. It's gonna be a lot of fun.
Cooper would be perfect for that offense.
I think he would too.
So 1 year ago today, I seriously thought that the Tennessee Titans with the first overall pick were going to take Shedeur Sanders. Silly me. And the biggest injustice in the history of the draft happened. And he fell, and he fell, and he fell some more into the 5th round. And I guess we've talked enough about that, but I'm still rooting for him. I still believe in him. So you mentioned the Browns maybe trading backward from 6. What I would love to see is the Browns trading up 2 spots, and they've got 6 and 24. So it might take giving 24 to go up 2 spots with said Tennessee Titans, if they would back out of there, and give Shedeur Jeremiah Love. That would be the pairing that would make me happiest. I would just love to see the momentum of that. And it just would send a message, and I still don't even know if Shedeur is going to be able to beat out Deshaun Watson. I have no idea. Got new coach, new style, new approach. I'm just not sure about it, but it would do my heart good, given what happened 1 year ago. It just crushed my heart to see Shedeur, if in fact he's going to be the guy, and I believe he has to be the guy, to have Jeremiah Love to go forward with, because that would be box office. That would be a pairing.
I like that.
Yeah.
I think they need to address offensive line
and receiver
and wide receiver first.
But
Because they got
good,
both those.
and Jeremiah Love's a
trade back with
generational
Cowboys.
player. I get it, and I would love to. I think any quarterback would love to hand the ball off to
You
Jeremiah
just
Love and
would.
let him go
Yeah.
run.
Or
Quinshon
flip it
Judkins looked really good last
Yeah,
year.
what's the
Pretty good.
difference between him and
I know, I
Judkins?
like Quinshon Judkins.
They're a different style running back. I think Love is a little bit more explosive
He
and
is.
a little more polished, and he's a better route runner
Yeah.
and receiver out of the backfield. But Quinshon Judkins is a very talented player. I think they're good at running back. I think they need to address. They could potentially, if they trade back, get 2 tackles in this draft and then get the best available wide receiver, whoever they may be at 12 or
I
20
agree.
if they trade with Dallas. Because there's
24 sound good.
right? 12,
Yeah.
20, 24. Let's get a receiver and 2 tackles.
Yeah.
And
If you
2
can
guys that can
protect
start from
Shedeur,
day
he's
one.
going to have a lot more
Because there could
opportunities.
potentially
great.
there's probably going to be 6 receivers that go in the first round in this draft, and potentially 6 or 8 tackles that could also jump up into the first round, or offensive linemen in this draft as well. So why not stack up on capital, live with Quinshon Judkins? I'm not just saying live with him. He's a talented player.
Yeah.
Go
I like-
forward with Quinshon Judkins, and then go get some other guys.
Hey,
offensive
I
line
got
receiver.
it. You're making too much sense. I'm doing fantasy football. I'm doing dream trade.
Yeah.
That would make me happy. That would be like, but Pro Football Focus all year ranked their offensive line dead last in their receiving
this.
core dead last.
Yeah.
And that gives him no opportunity to succeed if he's not protected.
And for
Even
a running back,
Even Love.
there's guys that are unique talents that can make a couple guys miss, but we saw Ashton Genty this year in Las Vegas. Still had some production, but when you don't have an offensive line blocking for you and you don't have a great scheme, it doesn't matter who's back there running the football. It's going to be tough to be productive. So I would prioritize offensive line and wide receiver.
I have a question, though.
Yeah.
Is Deshaun Watson better than Shedeur Sanders?
We've talked about this.
he used to be.
He used to be. He's had his shine.
Used to be?
Yeah.
What would
He's had his couple years.
What would have changed that?
The 5-year span that happened.
Because that was 2020.
Just
He was
his
probably
absence. His absence.
And the injuries, that all plays a factor. You get out, you don't play football for a while, you lose that momentum that you had. They're trying to recreate it, but you never know if you can get it back.
Yeah.
Kirk
That was-
Cousins got it back. A couple guys got it back, and they're not Deshaun Watson. Like, we're talking about a guy who was really good at one point. And I feel like at that position, when you got talent like him, it just doesn't disappear overnight. So I don't think Shedeur is going to be in the running for that position.
But overnight, is overnight, while you was sleeping, dreaming overnight, you popped your Achilles 3 times.
Yep.
That's what happened overnight. Like, that's major.
I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm back.
Yeah, but if Cleveland wants to be successful this year, they can't just pick a guy. Todd Monken has to make sure that it is a legit open quarterback competition.
100%.
Let Shador learn from his rookie
100%.
mistakes and improve.
100%.
See if Deshaun Watson, who you're paying all this money to get back to the form that we've seen before, let them go head-to-head and let the best man win. You also got Dylan Gabriel in the mix. I'm sure he'll get to compete a little bit as well, although I think we kind of know what he's going to be. But let Deshaun and let Shador go head-to-head and let them.
The momentum is going to lean towards Shador for sure. But you're talking about the things you need to address with the O-line and the receivers. I've gotten little birdies talking about Hopkins, being a potential target for them and having somebody to throw to, as far as not having to go through the draft and try to do something like that, where regardless if it's Deshaun or Shador, you need someone that you can depend on to get open and throw to, and you need a tight end that you can depend on. And I think you address one of these two things, you will see a different Shador. I think that's the one thing he's always been able to do, is have a dependable receiver that if he can throw to you, he will throw it to you. He's been known to be very accurate.
Deadly accurate.
But when you talk about his decision making,
that's a rookie year.
It's a little bit immature. So if you can bring in a guy who knows what he's doing, I'm not saying that Deshaun is going to be the shell of who he was, but I think just namesake and what the experience does, if you depending on Shador for the first 3 weeks of the season and he doesn't pan out, you're going to have to go backwards. And would you rather go backwards or would you rather go forward?
That ain't really backwards to me, though.
Yeah, go ahead.
Who, Deshaun Watson going backwards?
Yeah, if Shador start the season off and 4 weeks you don't like it, you go to Deshaun, I don't really see that as going back.
Why wouldn't you start with Deshaun?
Because that's old news to me. I already had Deshaun, already got his opportunity.
So let me do the first 2 weeks and then we end off with Shador. Let me come in and let me see what I can do as the vet.
But I already seen what you can do, though.
You haven't seen anything.
I did.
When?
He's been there for 3-4 years already.
He hasn't played in the last 2 years.
That's my whole point. I already seen.
So I'm back. I'm back.
But that's like to what you're both saying. That's why it needs to be an open quarterback competition. OTAs, summer, fall camp. It needs to be an open quarterback competition. Whoever they think gives their team the best chance to win, they're the starter from day one. And I'm with you. If that guy doesn't pan out the first couple of weeks, then put the other guy in there, see what he can do, and then you might be back in the running next year to draft a quarterback in this quarterback-heavy draft class in 2027.
That's how it go.
But you've got to give both these guys an opportunity in the offseason to prove that they can be the guy. And to your point, too, I'll defend Shador a little bit, talking about his decision-making. When you're on a team that has a lot of deficiencies at offensive line, at wide receiver, you tend to try to do a little bit more. Instead of just making the right play, you try to make the big-time play.
Yeah.
I think that hurt him a little bit last year. So if you give him some more weapons, makes his job a little bit easier. Now I can throw a slant to a Tyson, to a Tate, to a Lemon that can take it 50 yards. Now, I know that I'm protected with guys on the outside because we just drafted these 2 tackles, which now incentivizes you to be a little bit more cautious with the football and make the right play.
So you're saying the Browns should go for a receiver with their
I think they
over
should.
O-line.
Yeah, I think, it depends on who's
available. Because you just said Tyson, Tate, and those aren't going to be available at 24.
And I don't even know what their draft plan is. That's why I say if they're sitting at 6 and Tate's available and that's been their guy from day one, then don't move at all. Take him, and then at 24, you can get an offensive lineman or get an offensive tackle.
Easy.
If there's not a guy that you love and Tate goes to the Giants or Tate goes somewhere else early on, and it's not the guy that you're in love with, then trade back. They've done it before. Andrew Berry's not afraid to trade back. Add some capital, then get your next level wide receiver that you want, and then add 2 more tackles potentially in the first round, and now you just got 3 day one starters that immediately make your offense better. It sounds great in theory. Now, obviously, a lot of things have to happen. Yeah. Teams have to be willing to trade, but if I'm the Cleveland Browns, that's kind of where I would start.
Well, let's dive into those receivers in the draft, because I know we were kind of debating that on Monday, and we even have a bet between these boys about these receivers in the draft. Everybody has them in a different order, right? So Mel Kiper has a mock draft right now. He has Carnell Tate going 7 to the Commanders. He has Jordan Tyson 9 to the Chiefs, and then he has Mekhi Lemon at 13 to the Rams. So everybody has a difference of opinion here. Do you agree or disagree with this order, Cody?
I disagree with this order. I agree with one of them, though. I do have Tate slightly ahead of everyone else at number 1. I just think he's the most polished receiver right now. His route running is so smooth. He's so efficient getting in and out of his breaks. Not the fastest guy in the world. He ran a 4.5 at the combine, but he has great football speed, meaning he can still create separation with his precision and his route running. I think he's one of the better guys, too, at tracking the football in the air, which is something that you have to have. It's not really a learned art. That means when the ball's up in the air, whether it's inside, outside, it's underthrown on those deep balls, he knows how to go back and get the football. But I think the best thing he does, too, is that he's very friendly for the quarterback. And I talked about this the other day, but he consistently puts himself between the ball and the defender, meaning that he always gives the quarterback a lane to throw, whether it's man or zone. That's important at the next level because you're going to get a lot of guys like Aqib, Talib. They're going to be on your hip. You have to know how to shield them off and give your quarterback a spot to throw the football. And he's also got elite ball skills and body control, which is another thing that you can't really teach. So I like Tate at 1. This is where I disagree, though. I would put Lemon at number 2. Mekhi Lemon, I watched him play every game the last couple of years at USC. I covered USC football for the last couple of seasons. I think he's going to be a star in the NFL. And I early on said that he reminds me a lot of Amon-Ra St. Brown. A lot of people said, well, that's a lazy comparison. Amon-Ra was at USC, Mekhi's at USC, same body type. If you put the tape on, take the numbers off, and watch him at USC, I promise you it's going to be tough for you to tell who's who. And he's a very good football player. He can win versus man. Not the biggest guy in the world at 5'11", 190 pounds, but he knows how to use his speed and quickness to get off of press coverage. He can win against zone, understands where the holes are in the defense, where to find throwing lanes for your quarterback. And then he's also not afraid to go across the middle. Like I mentioned, 5'11", 195, but he plays like he's 6'3", 210. Like he'll go across the middle knowing he's going to get hit and still make a big-time catch. So I really like Lemon there at the second wide receiver. And then at number 3, I'm going to go with Jordan Tyson. I could hear an argument for all of them. They're interchangeable in my opinion. But Jordan Tyson to me is number 3 right now. I think he's the best 50-50 ball catcher of those guys, meaning that 6'2", 200 pounds. He uses his size to his advantage. A quarterback can throw it up on a go ball. You know it's him or nobody, right? We always say, if I'm going to throw it up and you don't catch it, at least don't let the DB make a play on the football. He does just that, whether it's single coverage, double coverage. And then even with his size, being a taller receiver, his shiftiness and quickness on those short intermediate routes is very impressive. He does a great job of getting off the line of scrimmage. So I really like all 3 of those guys. One thing that stands out with me, too, with all of them, although I think Lemon's slightly ahead of them, is they all make contested catches. In the NFL, you're not going to get a lot of wide open layups. You've got to make contested catches with a DB draped all over you. All 3 of them have strong hands and can pull the ball away from the defender. So, yeah, I like all 3 of them. If I'm a quarterback, if I'm a coach, if I'm a GM, give me any of those 3 guys, and I'd be happy with my decision.
I think the order is great. I think Tate going to go first. If Cleveland trade back, of course, he'd probably go to who? He got him going to the Commanders or somebody?
7.
But doesn't your bet, you had Tyson going first. That's your bet with Skip right now.
Is that our bet?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you said Tyson's going to go above Carnell Tate, and you said Carnell.
No,
that's not our
above Mekhi Lemon.
Okay, Mekhi Lemon.
Ours is just Lemon and Tyson.
Lemon and Tyson.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Come on, Kinsey, you supposed to.
I thought I had it written down. Then he went, my bad. I got to get fired. My only job.
I think Tate go first, just because he got the size, and he don't have the injuries. If Tyson ain't had them injuries, I would say he gonna go first. I think that's going to drop him a little bit.
Yeah.
Teams he got that go with you everywhere. You can't say nothing about I've been hurt every year I played football. That shit gonna travel with you. So Tate go first. But I think the Chiefs see what I see. I think the Chiefs see a starting 6'2" outside receiver who can win one-on-ones. He can go deep. He can catch and run. He just looked like he fit in with the Chiefs. And you look at Rashad. This is last year on his deal with the Chiefs, and he really more of a slot receiver for them. Him and Kelsey really work the middle. They run crossing routes. The slot receiver, tight end, they work the middle for the Chiefs. They outside receiver is a one-trick pony for real. Worthy, he's a deep guy. They don't really gotta do it all outside receiver, and I think they know they need DBs, but they got 2 first-round picks. They can get Tyson with their early first-round pick. They can get a corner or a safety with they late first-round pick. And there's a lot of them out there.
Yeah.
You feel me? So I think Tyson going, man. I don't think the Chiefs going to pass up a 6'2" guy who got that OBJ movement. He got that Justin Jefferson type movement, man. I don't think Mahomes going to let him pass him up. He probably lobbying for him right now. So, hey, I love the order, Mel. I love the order. And I think Lemon go after that to whoever else, you know what I'm saying? But
I told you, don't let Sean McVay get a hold of him.
Don't let the Rams draft Mekhi Lemon, I'm telling you.
Mel Kiper's got him going 13 to the Rams.
Love it.
If he go to the Rams, we ain't gonna see too much of him this year. Maybe on returns.
Well, I don't think so.
Man, they play too much 12 and 13. It's only who they gonna put on the bench? Devontae?
You just figure it out with him.
Rams don't play with 3 receivers, man. They just don't.
Well, maybe he's taking a lot of Devontae snaps. I don't know. You
Better
want
trade him.
I think they're going to trade him.
You better trade him. Which they would do now.
Yeah.
You know, Sean don't play.
But to your point, I mean, you said
Don't give a damn.
it might not be right away. Look at JSN. It took him a while. He was a third to the second option, now to the number 1.
Yeah.
Now you have Puka Nacua there, but I think Mekhi could learn a year under.
All I said was if they draft him this year, you ain't gonna see too much of him this year.
I mean, you'll
That's
see
all I
him.
said.
He'll get some. They'll do 11 personnel on third downs. They'll get in some obvious passing situations. I promise you, Sean McVay is going to find ways to get their first-round wide receiver on the field if they draft him at number 13. They're going to do some 3 wide personnels, or he's going to substitute with Devontae and switch them in and out at that X position and give him some backside routes as well. But then eventually he could take over.
Does this player or this particular order, which player is going to make my quarterback better or essentially protect my quarterback in certain tough times? I think Tyson's your safe bet, but I really like Lemon. Like, he's a positional receiver. I think he can do multiple things. I think he can get you out of the tight situations in third downs. But you got 2 other guys, a 6'3", 6'2", that, like you said, they like to catch tough situations. I like the Arizona State guy. I mean, he, like you said, the OBJ movement, the way that he goes about his routes is different. And I'm looking at Tate almost like a Marvin Harrison Jr. type. I mean, there's a lot of hype, but essentially when it comes down to smelling the popcorn, can you deliver? Are you going to drop those balls? Are you going to go out there and make it happen for your team? You say Sean McVay could take a guy like Lemon under a Puka that can actually be a dual threat as a rookie. I think that could be a good possibility, but I think Tyson is essentially going to be the guy that I'm going to throw that ball to when I need it, and I need to get the catch. Regardless of the injuries, I think that he could be the guy. Tate, I know everybody's sold on him because it's a safe pick, but I got him third. I'm going.
Wow.
I'm going Tyson, Lemon, Tate at this particular moment, just because I'm going to take a chance based on the eye test. You know, you got a guy who watches a lot of film. He knows more than I do because he plays a position as far as the other side of the ball. He can really tell you who can get it done. But as far as eye tests, I'm going with Tyson, and then I know Lemon can actually be multifunctional. And then Tate, you know, you throw it up to him. You know,
The only reason I'm not going Tyson first is just because the injuries. I know it's going to hurt him a little bit, but
You would take him.
But yeah,
I'm taking him.
you
first.
know that's
He
not
is-
going to happen. Yeah.
He
You're
will
saying
be.
what they're going to do.
What
now.
they're
I'm saying what
yeah,
they
yeah.
going to do. You know what I'm saying? I'm for sure.
I know you've been riding
I'm
with
for sure
Tyson.
taking
Yeah.
Tyson.
Tyson, that guy.
I see the movement. He's for sure going to be better than both of them guys in the league.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
He is the man coverage, the one-on-one beater.
Yes, for sure.
He is the one.
So the doctor was in on his assessment of Carnell Tate to me, because I've had him third from the start, because I know you're an Ohio State
I know. I'm
believer.
like, well,
And it is wide receiver you. And because it is, I feel like the hype train just ran off the rails with Carnell Tate, because he's mocked. I know you love him, and I appreciate your breakdown, but he just,
Hey,
but he's,
fuck it.
but,
I appreciate
We're going to go over here, though.
Yeah.
We're going to go over here, though.
but it's just run off the rails. He's mocked up to 5. You know, I see him at 5 a lot, and I'm like, really?
I saw someone put him at 2 to the Jets the other day.
Okay.
I've seen as high as 2.
2.
The guy across from him, a year from now, probably would be Arch going 1, but Jeremiah Smith is going to go real high next year.
2.
2. And because of that, Carnell Tate's over there with single coverage, and he's very good. But is he the 5th overall pick or the first receiver off the board? I didn't see elite speed or separation from him when I watched him on TV. I saw him beat mediocre single coverage a lot. And man, you can when you got Jeremiah Smith over there, but he's the one catching 80 balls to your 50 balls. Okay, so just for the record, our guy Hayden Winks, our underdog draft analyst, we're going to have him on Monday, I think.
Oh, nice.
And just for the record, his mock, and we had him on a couple of weeks back, in his still up there mock, he had Makai Lemon going to the Saints, or has him going to the Saints at 8. And then he's got Carnell Tate going to the Chiefs at 9. I would be surprised at that. But then he's got Jordan Tyson going to the Steelers down at 21. Okay, now we're back to what you said, Aqib. Injured again. And he came out of high school as the 131st ranked receiver in the country coming out of Allen, Texas, in your neighborhood.
A up, baby.
Oh, that's why you're biased.
A up.
A up.
A up.
Well, it is.
He's got all his real estate now.
So he was a late bloomer, but he had one sensational stretch going back 2 years ago. And I've told you, if he's a highlight package. If you just watch his highlights on YouTube, you're like, whoa, because he's got the whole bag of tricks. He's got all kinds of crafty, slippery sort of separation burst. I'm impressed, but I kept turning on my TV, especially last fall, with Makai Lemon, and to Cody's point, and you studied him.
Yeah.
He's just a flat out baller. You just can't cover him. And he's got mental and physical toughness that I just rarely see in receiver, because he ain't going to be beaten to the football. If it's 50-50, he's just going to go snatch it out of the air.
He's tough.
He's going to fight you for it, and he's going to be a productive pro football player. I just know that translates.
See, but
Okay?
do you see? I know St. Brown is top receiver. He called, but do St. Brown catch a lot of like downfield 50-50 balls?
No.
Nah, not really, right? Because in the NFL, we all tough. You know what I'm saying? So all that college shit, you tough, you catch these 50-50 balls at 5'11", that shit ain't gonna ride in the league, bro. You're just not gonna be 5'11". It's just not gonna happen, because we all tough. We all was the best corner you played. Yeah. They all in the league. You know what I'm saying? So you got to look at it, man. You got to look at the intangibles, man. When you just watch Lemon highlights, is he beating a lot of man coverage, or is it a lot of running through zones?
Yeah.
A lot of
Both.
Yeah. All right.
Both.
All right.
Man, he is hard to cover.
He is tough. He's tough. So I like him with the Rams.
Yeah.
With the Rams, it'll be a lot of running through zones, because you can't play man against Sean. You can't play man against. There you go.
Perfect.
He'll fit in perfect. You feel me?
No, I agree. I will say this, though, to push back a little bit on Tate. I know everyone kind of has been using that as a negative thing against him, saying, well, Jeremiah Smith gets all the attention, so Carnell Tate is going to have more production and get one-on-one routes. I think the opposite. I think he's just starting to scratch the surface of how good he can be, because if he goes to a team and he becomes the true number one, he's going to get more targets. Last year, Smith had 87 receptions. Tate only had 51, but still had a lot of production.
Okay.
Now you go up in his targets, and you have an offense in the pass game that's tailored around him. I think we're going to see another level of Carnell Tate. Now, it depends on where he goes, who his play caller is, and who his quarterback is. But if he gets to the right situation and a good football team, I think we could see his production go up when he becomes the true number one.
Okay. Is he JSN? Is he Abuka? Is he Marvin Harrison Jr.? I don't know.
As a prospect, yeah. I think as a guy coming out, sure, you could put him in that category as a first
category
round.
with who?
Huh?
With who? With JSN and Marvin Harrison Jr. and them?
As a prospect coming out, I'm not saying he's going to get there in the NFL. I'm saying where he's at.
I thought they was overhyped.
Nah, I thought
Marvin was
JSN and Marvin's still cold.
He's still cold. Yeah.
Right, he's still the truth.
No,
you don't.
He wasn't even getting targets with Kyler Murray. I don't hate on Marvin Harrison. He's gonna break out.
Marvin Harrison is solid, bro.
Yeah.
Solid. But he's supposed to be elite.
Well, he's got to get a quarter. He's got to get the quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. Don't put that on him. Don't put that on him.
He still was going crazy. He had a stretch where he was top 5 receiver in the league last year.
Like the first 2 games.
You don't. So
I thought he was
you're saying you don't think Carnell Tate is in that category with those elite Ohio State wide receivers coming out. I'm not saying what he's going to do in the NFL, because we don't know yet. But I'm saying coming out of college, you don't think he's in that category with those guys.
Carnell Tate?
I don't think so. I'm with Skip. It's the Ohio State receiver train that got him He's 6'3", he moving shit.
Yes.
They showed him a couple highlights of him 50-50 balling, but I just don't see him like JSN was in college.
Yeah.
Like Ibuka was in college. Like Marvin Harrison, I was looking at them like, them motherfuckers finna go to the league and be cold.
Yeah.
I don't see Tate like he finna go to the league and be cold.
I do think Marvin Harrison's slightly ahead of him prospect-wise if you had to rank them, but also you got to look at it. They were playing with C.J. Stroud. They were playing with
they was.
He played with Julian Sayin last year. I think he's going to be a talented quarterback.
Julian
He's a
Sayin
young
might
guy.
take off and be a
I think he
number
will.
one pick.
I think he will.
Go, yeah,
But he was still a young guy last year.
he was young at the start of
a
it, but
veteran,
I don't know.
I like Sayin.
I just don't watch Tate film and say, this motherfucker finna go to the league and he gonna be one of them guys.
Yeah.
When I watch Tyson tape, I say that.
Yeah.
When I watch Lemon tape, I don't really say that.
Let me ask you this then. Aqib line up against Tate. What you taking away from him? First things first.
Deep ball.
What you gonna do to make it hard on him though?
I'm gonna play outside leverage, make his ass release inside, and then I'm gonna undercut.
Is that his weakness?
I mean, only thing that if I was to watch him, I'd say, all right, what I need to worry about, okay, 50-50 balls, bet. I'm gonna make him release inside.
Okay.
Play outside, I'm gonna take away that fade.
Yep.
That's just what I'm gonna do. When I play, I ain't really worried about the catch and run with Carnell Tate.
Okay.
I'll be close enough to tackle.
Yep.
When I'm playing,
By the way, he didn't do much dirty work inside like Mackay does. Nothing but dirty
right.
work.
Yeah, but
inside,
Mackay plays a lot more in the slot.
Yeah,
than
he
I know.
Tate does.
he assigned to do the
Yeah.
dirty
They
work
like to use
inside.
Mackay at that F position to run those overs and the deep crosser.
But Tate's running outside deep ball routes,
Now, that's
fade
That's what I'm
routes.
gonna take away.
Okay,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
what's that.
Post,
Okay.
that's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
take away.
Are you physical with him?
It matter. It just really matter how I feel on the line. So if God got shit on the line, then I'm just gonna get to my spot. I ain't worried about being.
That's what I'm looking at. I'm like, do he got the shit on the line?
That's what I don't see.
That's what I'm saying. I think Tyson got that.
Tyson got shit on the line.
He got shit
He
on
does.
the line. He
Tyson
can get
got
off.
separation. So with Tyson, I'm gonna say, all right, I can't really just take away these fades because he gonna if he get a yard or a yard and a half, and I gotta tackle his ass, that's gonna be a problem too because he gonna catch and shifty. He got that catch and run shit. So he just make you work. It's gonna be a tougher matchup guarding Tyson, bro. He the same size as him, but he look way smaller than him from just how he moved.
He moved
You know what I'm
crazy.
saying? So I'm like, bro, I do this shit, Skip. I'm telling you.
That's what I
Listen
wanted
to
to
me.
ask you. Like,
I do this shit.
That's what a real scouting report is for somebody who's gonna guard him. And it's like between all three receivers.
You gonna have a problem with Tyson guarding him. The NFL guy's gonna have a problem with it.
Okay, and not to make this even muddier, but Denzel Boston is really good, and he's really big and fast and strong. And it's not going to shock me if somebody, it's what Brett Veach is saying, it's beauty in the eye of the beholder. You know, like somebody's going to say, wait a second, Denzel Boston.
This dude.
And you know
Yeah.
what, Skip? It
Yeah.
only takes one team
That's
to fall
what
in
I'm
love with
saying.
the guy.
That's what I'm saying.
All these mock drafts and all our lists don't
Yeah.
mean shit because if
don't.
one team falls in love with them,
One.
They don't.
they're going to go get him. And I'll make it even more muddier, Skip.
Okay.
I think there could be 6 wide receivers in the first round. I'm going to throw Concepcion and I'm going to throw Omar Cooper in the first round as
Definitely.
well. And I think once one guy goes,
Yeah.
we're going to start seeing a domino effect of these teams that need receivers. They're going to say, well, I want to get in too. So there could be 6 potentially in the first round on Thursday.
You apologize to me about Carnell Tate, but I actually do agree. I think, I know. You
do?
think I'd be all behind him, but I do think
Really?
Jeremiah Smith, the second that he came in, he was getting triple covered at times. Then Carnell Tate had a breakout year.
He did.
So I do think there's a lot of correlation there. So
I see
unfortunately, do
Jeremiah
I think he's the first guy off the board? I don't think so.
Yeah.
When I see Jeremiah Smith, I'm like,
Yeah. Hey.
There.
this motherfucker
Yeah,
is
there.
in the league.
I don't care what
like
class
a baby
we're talking
Julio
about.
Jones.
And every
Man.
I see
team
Julio
is red
Jones
dotting
like-
him
Exactly.
and saying, focus on him. Carnell Tate wasn't even a thought. They're like, well, focus on this guy, shut
Okay.
him
When
down.
I see Carnell Tate though, I ain't scary to me.
He's solid though.
Yeah, it's solid, but it ain't
Okay,
scary
but he's
to
not
me.
the 5th pick in the draft.
Yeah.
You know, like, come on, man.
Well, so
Way
this
to go.
is what,
I'm impressed.
I know. I try not to be biased.
Yeah.
And
Trying to look
I'll
at it.
say this too, man. I value your opinion a lot on this. You're one of the all-time greats at corner. I like to think as a quarterback, I know my receivers, but I do think you coming from a corner that has to cover these guys, there's a lot more weight.
I know the movement, bro. I know the look.
Hey.
But coming from a quarterback though.
But I'm still taking Tate first.
Let's switch it up. Let's switch it up. You're the quarterback. Which one do you want to throw to on your when you're under pressure? When you need a first down?
If it's
I need
third,
a first down.
Third and 5.
Any of
you
them.
got to pick one.
Any
of them
of them.
guys.
Gotta pick one.
And
Cody's
man,
a
third and 5. You know they blitzing, and I got one guy to throw the ball to. Who is that guy? Which one you picking out of them 3?
I'm going to be biased. I'm going with Mekhi Lemon. If it's 3rd and 5 and I got Mekhi Lemon matched up with a nickel cornerback in the slot, giving him a two-way go.
What's your call on
that shit?
I'm giving him an option route. I'm going to run a comeback on the outside so I have a second option to get to. At slot, give me an option route. You can cross face, you can break out, or even if we like it, let's get a little slot fade if we get man-to-man.
I like that.
Because I know he's going to go make a contested catch.
I like that a lot.
By the way,
like that
I know you value all of his opinions, but some of them are biased. He does have his blind spots.
Hey, man,
Allen High School is a blind spot.
It's a blind
Allen
spot.
High School.
You guys all have your blind spots. I'm starting to learn them.
Good, I wouldn't say he was good. It just so happened that he's from the A. It just so happened that he's from Allen.
A all day,
I'm
right?
just saying, A up, baby.
Well, this is the most fun part about the draft is we have no idea what is going to happen.
No
and
idea.
listening to these great football minds, and you guys all have different opinions, this is so exciting. So get
it
some
is
rest
good,
this weekend
yeah.
because we got the draft next
Yeah.
week. So we're going to be back here on Monday. Thank you guys for watching another episode of Underdog or Arena presented by Underdog. Woo, woo.